Start my stream.
But like this map, you're not going to be able to convert it anyway because all the buildings won't be available.
Yes. But could you, and I don't know, but could you convert it without the buildings and then have to just place your own buildings back down again? Like, will the foliage and roads and fields all convert in, or is it all or nothing with the conversion?
So the first thing you'll do when you go to convert a map is you'll have to change all of the ground textures to the new ground textures. You'll have to change all the foliage over to the new foliage. You'll have to change, like the roads, they'll come in just as they are. As long as Giants doesn't change the way, I don't think we use any shaders or anything on here. So as long as Giants doesn't require anything else, it should be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
You have to replace all the trees with the new trees, which is easier than it sounds. Because you can just, there's a replace button. So you take one object, you click on another object, and you just replace it. And it'll just replace. So if you go through one tree at a time, and it'll just replace them all with the new trees.
Okay.
So that's not so bad. The ground texture thing's not so bad. Anything that pulled a base game texture from 22 will have to be replaced, or you will have to add the texture. One of the two. So, like the containers by the shop, any props, anything you pulled from the base game will need to be replaced. So you either have to put the textures in the map from 22, or you have to replace that object with something from 25.
So, is there, like, I know you guys talked about running Test Runner before. Is there a way to run to see what's broken, for lack of a better word, I guess?
You'll just see it in the error log.
Yes. Okay.
And when you go into the game, well, you don't even have to go into the game. When you go into the editor, it's going to be missing all those textures that we're pulling from the base game, and everything will turn white.
Okay.
It'll just, you'll be in the map, and like this lime station over here.
Mm-hmm.
That lime station, the 3D object to be there. Well, I don't know how he did it, but let's just say it was like a deco piece that he put in the map. The lime station to be there, but it'll have no textures because the texture files are pulled out of 22. But the beauty of this, though, is in 19, Giants used a compound texture file, and they used the same texture file for a good majority of all their buildings. And basically what it was is it has this complex way of putting multiple textures on top of each other at the same time. And then it uses like a grid method to figure out which one to use.
Mm-hmm.
For 22, Giants realized maybe we shouldn't do that, and they stopped doing that. So they used, which I think what that did is that they were trying to save resources by using one file for everything, but I have a feeling that it used a lot of resources having to sort through every file every time. So what they did in 22 is they made a regular texture file and they tried to just reuse it. So like all of the dairy barns and the chicken barns and whatever for that, like the robot barn and all that had
Yes.
the metal siding and all that, they all use the same texture file, all those different buildings.
Which is what makes it look a bit pants, in my opinion.
Well, it does, but when you have, instead of every building having to search through that grid of compound textures, it simply all just uses that one texture. I think it freed up a lot of resources.
But a lot of mods still seem to use that compound method.
How?
If you look at some of the textures, they've got the image, all the different textures laid into the one file.
Oh no, that's not that's not the compound texture. That's the grid. That's the stat. Like it'll be like 8 different textures in one big long rectangle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. That's just one texture file. The one they used in 19, if you go to open it, it doesn't open because it's like some weird format, and all the textures are layered on top of each other. So if you go into 19 and you go into your data folder and you go into a placeable and you go look, most of those buildings and stuff, when you go into the material section, they don't have an actual like texture file that you can open. But in 22, they didn't do that. 22, they just did regular texture files like they used to do. So when you convert a building, like an in-game building that you used in 22, you should be able to bring it forward because you'll have the texture file that you can use.
Okay.
Is that a new mower, Jamie?
No, I bought that multiple weeks ago. Whenever you showed me how fast it can move,
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay, no, it's the same item. Yeah, I see it now.
I colored it different than yours.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be a copycat to the penny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have so much choice in what we're going to do here for equipment.
Wanko had to lease the more expensive tractor to lease instead of getting the Ursus.
Yeah.
You would look good.
Hero back again.
You look good on an Ursus. What do you mean a leaf out of my book? I'm using the cheapest wagons and the cheapest two-wheel drive Massey there is here.
Doc, do you know how to make foliage?
No idea. Never tried.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a problem with the foliage that comes with the game, though.
On vintage oaks, cowslips look like cowslip, but they don't here. They just look like white messes on here.
Well, I mean...
No, it does the job, but it does look much better on vintage oaks.
But you never know that on 25 they may have something that's better.
Well, this is true.
If you could get me like a blueprint of some sort of barn, I will try to draw it.
I have done a couple of searches and I can't find anything at the moment, which is surprising.
Well, there's nothing online because nobody gives you blueprints because everybody shows you pictures of what they've built previously, and they want you to request a quote.
That's what I found, yes.
Which makes perfect sense because two buildings are usually never alike, even though they are the same building and by the same builder.
Yeah.
Because I could tell you that the builder that did the shop at the farm I used to work at my neighbor's place, they've done 6 other shops about the same size, and they are all different.
Well, it did occur to me that we could take maybe a base game building and can you spread the buildings and things or print them in Blender?
Do what to them?
Well, edit them, so maybe make them a bit taller, a bit wider, or a bit shorter.
Sort of.
Okay, well that might be a way forward then, is to take some buildings from the base game obviously and alter the shape slightly to suit what we're looking to do And obviously change the textures to suit.
Because the a lot of Giants buildings, if they're not basically if you're not the placeable buildings, like the decoration buildings, never have. They're a box. They're literally just a box. So they don't have interiors or anything. You'd have to draw all that, which is not really a problem. I just don't understand. So what I've been working on is I've been trying to build a small shop building as a practice.
Yeah.
And I started like you would build the building. So I started and I made a concrete pad for the foundation. And then I built a 4x4 piece of timber and I textured it. And then I built my poles for my risers. And then I've been working on building my first truss, because once you make one truss, all I have to do is hit the array button, and I can make as many trusses with whatever spacing I want. You know what I mean? So if I make one truss, and I want it on 24-inch centers, I just hit 24 inches in Blender, and I just click how many I want. 10, 12, 30. It just makes them. But if I don't texture it, but if I make all those and then I try to texture it, it's a pain in the ass. But if I texture each board individually, it's easy.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, it seems more time consuming to do it that way, but at the same time, prior to that, I'd build something really nice in Blender and then go to texture it and it's a freaking disaster.
Yeah.
Never can get the textures to look right. But the way I've been doing it this time around, I texture each board individually. It's not very complicated. It doesn't take very long. It's like, oh, here, unwrap it, pop it, move it so it looks, move it onto that. I'm using a giant stack texture grid off of the, I think it's the, was it Rudolph Barnes or whatever. But I'm using one of the textures from the Giants buildings, and I'm just moving this stuff into place.
You've got some pretty wide tires on there, Jamie.
Yeah, I tried that for those trailers to see if it gives you extra traction to pull them better.
Did that work?
Seemed to.
Yeah. I think Gizmo tried that as well with the trailer.
I don't know why you guys have so much problems hauling bales with that trailer.
No, not really problems, Doc. If you just pull one, it's not a problem. But if you daisy chain them, it's okay as long as it's just flat. But if you have a hill, it won't pull it. But it makes sense because it's in total 210 bales. So it's pretty normal for a small tractor like these that they won't pull that much.
I don't know, I'm pulling 2 wagons with my little Massey full of bales.
But you're using the John Deere. There's a difference in that John Deere trailer than the...
Yeah, the John Deere trailer does better.
Yeah, I could pull that no problem with mine. Single axle, but those little blue ones or whatever they were that comes with the little mini baler seems to have more drag.
More drag on the road, yeah.
Hey, Jimmy.
Fields as well.
Yeah, I don't have GPS, so I have to concentrate on my driving. I can't read chat.
Ah, there's all the excuses again.
Yeah.
Johnny taught me well.
Almost
What
like
can I
Johnny's
say?
here.
Yeah, I gotta stop hanging out with Johnny so much.
Jimmy, no, I did not get in this morning like I thought I would. I didn't get up early enough to do anything. I had to do actually real life work for a little bit, and then this afternoon came. Tomorrow may be a different story. Maybe tomorrow morning might be a coffee and Finnish farmer server.
No, I gotta be up at 4 in the morning to go play Real Farmer.
Roots and slurry or silage? No.
Oh, we're gonna go do the drag hose thing again.
Pumps and hoses. How's that work in real life?
Wait, I don't know. I don't have any problem with it. Everybody seems to complain about it in the game. I never had any much trouble with it here once I figured it all out. But no, it works good in real life. It just you can't. If we're loading one truck at a time, and you need to be unloading 2 trucks at a time in the frac tank, it's not gonna work. I don't know why we keep doing this. You can't unload 2 trucks at the same time when you can only load 1 truck at a time. I don't know why we're doing it. It's probably a compaction thing. Plus, whenever we do it, everybody just gets all hyped up about it. I don't know. It's not relaxing and it's not fun.
Jeez, it sounds like pumps and hoses to me.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I had the frac box set up. I had an auto drive course from the slurry pit to the frac box. And I run my hoses out, and I set up my GPS line, and I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I do my whole field all at once. And I'd move, I don't know, 500,000-600,000 liters of manure in the afternoon.
So is that single player or is that on a server?
Single player.
Yeah, I've played it in single player and I didn't get along too bad. I tried it on the server and my hoses and couplings would disappear beneath the ground and I couldn't uncouple them, and
That's what Jimmy just said in your chat.
God, I'm thinking like Jimmy.
It's not a map problem, is it?
Not a map problem, I don't know. We tried it on I shouldn't say Valley Spring. We tried it. I tried it on not Griffin, Indiana. What was the one we were playing?
Iowa Plains.
It's the one that the big pig barn we have on our server came from.
Yeah, that was Iowa. I think it's Iowa Plains.
Iowa Plains. And
Iowa Plains.
it was a really good working map. Like, don't get me wrong, it was worked out, but just it was the issues we were having, or I was having, because it was just me at the time. This is when Johnny was out. I tried it and trying some different stuff, and it just kept bugging her up on me. So I was like, no.
But they did an update on that pumps and hoses, because before the update it did have a lot of issues. I don't know when they did that update, because I had pumps and hoses for a long time and I never used it. It updated, but I know it was updated before I'd even tried to use it, because I just never got to a point where I could afford any of this stuff. Because I was when that all came out, I was playing on console, so I couldn't just like go out and cheat it in.
Sure you could.
Oh.
Well, they made that one mod. You placed it down, it gave you like $10 million, but I never. On console, you're so limited on what you could have. Like, there was no real reason to go out there and cheat money in for a test map. Almost everything that was on Mod Hub was going to work, and it was, it wasn't anything scripty either, so it's all just vehicle stuff. And you usually don't need to go and test vehicles.
How much further until you can collect that contract?
Well, I'd have to be taking them to that sell point first.
Jimmy, this is the biggest mower really we can get as far as speed-wise goes. There's a bigger mower, but goes a lot slower. So we've determined this has got the best bang for the buck, as the fella says. Now, if I had somebody in here that was going behind me tedding, instead of watching in YouTube chat, excuse me, it would make my job go easy, because then the tedding would get done, then the windrow would get done, the baling get done, and we move along.
Yeah, but he's watching to see what you're gonna have him do, and now he's gonna go back to bed. He doesn't want to do tedding. He doesn't want a windrow. Doesn't want to talk to us. See?
Well, I don't know what's better, listening to us or talking to us.
Well, I mean, he can listen to us, but if he doesn't want to listen to us, he just hits mute.
Yeah, very true.
Very easy. See, Jamie, you shouldn't have started streaming until he got on. Then he wouldn't know what he was up against.
He knows. Contract field.
Yeah, Wanko, I'm taking these bales to the wrong sell point, just so you know.
Excellent.
Because this sell point for the bale or the field that you're tedding is closer to field 1 than it is to 41.
Wait, that screw the contract up.
Ah,
There's only one way to find out.
That's an awful lot of work, an awful lot of time.
only if I complete it.
If they're both hay bale contracts, then no. You got 2 contracts going for hay?
Yeah.
So no, it doesn't know where the hay is coming from. But it'll complete one. But is the grass cut on both fields at this point?
No.
Well, yeah, one field is completely done. The other field is in the process of being mowed.
Yeah. So I think where it gets tricky is if you haven't cut the grass and you start to try to deliver bales or product.
Well, the tricky part is when you do this, but then you deliver enough bales to the wrong, because it's 2 different sell points too.
Yes.
Which I made sure of when I accepted it. So if you have 2 contracts going to the same sell point, that's where it gets tricky, because you will have, as long as you have the grass cut on both fields,
Yep.
it will have the field work portion of that complete. So you may end up completing the wrong contract by accident, because you start taking bales to the sell point thinking you're going to go for a contract, and then you haven't baled the other one, then it completes the contract for the wrong field, and then you have a whole field of grass laying down that you can't do anything with.
Yeah, but if you don't complete the contract, if you don't, like, that's if you do it in the same game day. If you shut the server off, come back, I can understand that. That's where you make it into trouble.
Well, yeah, but I mean, obviously, we're not going to be able to complete our contracts today. I mean, we're not going to even be able to bail. I mean, I only have one more load of hay to take, though, to the sell point, Wanko.
So we can complete that one?
No.
Because you've taken them to the wrong sell point.
Correct, yes.
You're a numpty.
No, I've done this intentionally.
That's what worries me.
Yeah. Watch out, Bunker.
I've done all the thinking here. You just gotta let it happen.
You've done the thinking.
Yeah.
Done the thinking.
Now I'm really worried.
He took the smallest contract out there too.
Yes. Yeah, see, 61% of field 41 is complete. I wish it would tell me how much had been transported instead of how much it is, but as long as I don't transport it all, we should be good.
So, did you get hit with any weather from Helene, Doc? Or
Nah.
Carolinas didn't they not?
Yeah, the western part of the Carolinas, eastern Tennessee, Kentucky, they all got flooding apparently, but I don't know where the storm went. It just it went up to that area and just stopped and disappeared, which is really, really weird. I'm sure George Bush was controlling that one too. He's got a hurricane, thing that he can steer them towards different places.
He's a wizard, is he not?
Yeah. Well, he's the one that steered that Hurricane Katrina right towards Louisiana because they knew they would flood out a bunch of black people. Yeah.
Tinfoil hats. Take out your tinfoil hats.
No, that was a legitimate. That was legitimately going around the. I don't know. Somebody wrote it in the Associated Press. Like it was a legitimate story. I don't know. They used to paint George W. Bush as this like James Bond villain mastermind. I'm like, I've seen George Bush on TV. I don't think he's a mastermind.
I don't think any of your presidents or wannabe presidents are masterminds.
Probably not since Reagan. Carter was a buffoon.
I liked Reagan.
Yeah.
Watch out, Jimmy. I think you triggered the bus.
Mm-hmm. About time.
A lot of people liked Reagan. That's why he won re-election by a landslide. One of the most popular presidents ever. But I think he was popular because he was an actor, and I think he knew how to play a part, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he didn't do too badly overall, though, did he?
He ended the Cold War.
Yeah, there's that.
Ruined the agriculture economy. Absolutely destroyed the agricultural sector in the U.S. Not quite sure if he actually did it. I think Jimmy Carter actually destroyed it. Because all these 70s tractors that we have that everybody loves, because everybody loves tractors from the 70s. They all came about because there was the policies under Carter, and I can't remember who was before him, but they decided that they were going to feed the world. So we started exporting massive amounts of ag commodities, and then when Reagan got into president, they ended all of that, and it put so many people out of business. Put a lot of manufacturers out of business. International Harvester being one of them.
Do you
Massey
know
Ferguson.
what? I can't help thinking if we got rid of all the politicians and just had a very, very, very basic government that just dealt with defence, leading, and left everything else to market forces, we'd be in a much better place.
Well, you know, there was this country at one time that wanted to leave England, and they developed this whole new government system after they threw the king out. And it worked for a while like that. And that was their whole philosophy.
Well,
That's exactly why we fought our independence, Wanko.
yeah. How did that work out for?
Well, it worked out pretty good for a couple hundred years.
Yeah, you got to think on a global scale, Wonk. It's not like every decade.
Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, you have to remember, we didn't have like income tax or sales tax until the 1920s, I believe. The only time we had a income tax was after the Civil War, and the reason we had the income tax was to pay for the infrastructure, to rebuild the infrastructure that was destroyed in the country during the war. And they had it for a while. Can't remember how many years they had the income tax, but they did repeal the income tax after it was no longer needed. When's the last time you heard a country saying that, oh, we're going to repeal a tax because we don't need it anymore? It's... And then it was that whole rise of fascism in the 20s, which I believe has never gone away. I believe it's still here. I just think that they've changed how they go about it.
Yeah.
Because ever since World War One, pretty much ever since World War One, all of the Western world is just facing the same tyranny. They came up with all the social programs. FDR did it in the 1930s during the Great Depression, when they came up with the Social Security program and the health care programs and all this other stuff. Like before, you never needed any of that. And now we've built a society on it, so now it's not like you can just take Social Security away, because you got millions of people that depend on that stuff.
Ba-ding,
Evening, Johnny.
ba-ding, ba-ding.
Good morning, Mr. Fee. How you doing?
Speaking of our pensioner friend.
1920s is when organised crime got into politics, mate.
Yeah.
And they've been running the world ever since.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are places in this country, Wanko, that are kind of close to that if you want to defect.
Well, I hear Texas is quite a good place to be.
Not anymore.
No?
No. Too many illegals. Too many people from places like California.
Too many y'alls.
Well, Texas is losing their culture. The Texas in the West used to have a culture, but it's being destroyed by people fleeing their liberal, high tax states, high regulation places. They're fleeing to places of like Texas that believe in freedom and that, but they bring all their stupidness in and they start voting in politicians to bring the same laws back into Texas that they were fleeing from California.
Think your sound's got to go down some, John?
I haven't said a word.
No, I can hear Doc.
What?
I can hear Doc on your speakers talking back. Just echo.
Yeah, I have that same problem. I can hear Doc.
I don't know why you're so mean in the morning.
In the morning?
Because I woke up.
Oh, when we play Anno, he's fine. It's because he's after, he's already been up. He's had like 14 cups of coffee, and then he plays with the girls, and they just mellow him all out. Then he's like a pleasure to be around.
Yeah. I'm always a pleasure.
Yeah,
Such
you're
a
always
lovable
something.
character.
You're playing Farm Sim with us. You're not playing with the girls. We're not going to butter you up. No, I agree with you, Anko.
Hey?
All the government has to do is keep our borders safe and protect law and order. That's all they have to do. They don't have to do anything else.
Be a lot less problems if there wasn't a border. Fucking border, what a load of shit.
Order?
Yeah.
Is if you don't have borders, then everybody that's got nothing comes to where the people have got something. And then everybody has nothing.
Yeah.
Well, you have to.
That's
You can't
that's
have.
that's
you
the
can't
government
have a
that does
society.
that. Government
No.
decides who has what and who has nothing.
Well, they didn't used to in America. They didn't used to until the 20th century. Because what happened around the Industrial Revolution is we started getting these giant companies and corporations. So they started having to make laws, antitrust laws, because they were creating monopolies. It's where the whole monopoly game came from. But, they kind of got it figured out. But it's happening all again with the tech revolution. Now you got the technology companies that are actually running the world. And I don't really think that the government is going to matter in the future, because it's going to be like these other futuristic TV shows and movies where, the corporations are running everything. Because they're running everything now.
Running everything. Yeah.
Come on.
What field are you on, Jamie?
I'm on field 3, so if you leave our farm and go up towards field 10, and before field 10, hang a hard left, there's up a path there. That'll bring you up the back gates.
Leave our farm. Go up.
Oh no, it was all buttery smooth up until now.
Not my fault you're lagging. I'm not. Field 10. That's only a little field.
No, turn left at field 10. Follow that path all the way up to field 3.
Oh, you're doing field... Oh, up the top there.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Didn't we have a mod where you could just go kerplunk on the map, or is that 19?
Kerplunk. What do you want
Yeah,
to
you go-
kerplunk?
You go kerplunk on the map, and then it would tag a spot.
Yeah, that was Andy's mod.
For 19 though, wasn't it?
Yep. Bloody good too.
Oh, before you leave, you got the little Massey's what you're driving, or
Yeah, why?
make sure you check your fuel and your
Yeah, it'll do.
It will do. We will
You got
see.
a tow truck mod? Don't we?
No,
Oh, well.
you're walking back to the farm for a 5-gallon jerry can. It's that mod.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
alright.
Oh, we got more milk, Wonko.
Good. How come? Oh, it's because you're. How come field 1 is all mowed, tedded, baled up? But we're only at 53% completion.
Because I keep taking
You haven't,
the
delivered the bales yet.
Oh,
Yeah, I
of
keep
course.
because I keep taking the bales to the wrong sell point.
You're a stupid boy, Pike. Right, yes, that makes sense.
Yes, now you're getting it.
Just smile and nod, boys. Smile and nod.
I got it all figured out. Don't worry.
Mind you, we're going to be rich when it's done.
Oh yeah.
Especially the big contractor will pay a bit, I guess.
Well, combined, they're worth 86,000 on the kid.
Yes.
Wonko.
Well, that's not very realistic. We're playing in the 1910s with 1910s equipment. You wouldn't get paid that much back then.
Oh,
So
well,
that's
so
part of it's not very realistic.
the sell point stopped taking bales.
That's good.
Sad enough.
That's not good.
Well,
Are you
that
gonna-
means you've probably got enough bales there this contract, so you need to start taking them to the other place then.
No, I haven't. It's because probably there's more than us taking bales there.
Malaysia cell point shouldn't fill up, right?
it
Giants fixed
did.
that.
Yeah, it did.
No.
Unless, hold on, let me move some bales by hand. Super strength still on or no? No, hold on. Let me just make sure that the markings on the ground are the actual. Oh, that's why.
No. Markings in the ground run long compared to the sell point.
Yeah. Okay, never mind, Wonko. It's because the trigger isn't right.
Uh-huh.
No, it isn't.
Which cell point's that? Wurzel's.
Wurzel's straw. The trigger is shorter than the markings in the ground.
Yeah. Just hop over to my tractor. I'm out of it.
That's alright, I believe you.
Okay.
I put the markings in afterwards, and I don't think I ever got around to making them smaller.
Well, because like half of the load went in and the other half was sitting there, I'm like, oh, come on. Alright. I'm like, what
Happens a lot. It is common. Problem.
So, because I don't want to truck the bales, you know, it's just going to be easier to take the bales from 41 to finish field 1.
What you were talking about earlier, we've never had that problem. They're
What?
doing multiple contracts. As long as you don't complete the contract, like and hit the complete button, it's never a problem. We do it all the time. I'll take 2 or 3 silage contracts that are either going to the same sell point or different sell points. It doesn't really matter. It'll complete whatever contract desires.
Well, that's why if I can the contract,
It's never
let's say
been a problem.
point, what I do is I take all the grass, mow it all, make all the bales, and then I sell them all at once. So if it completes,
but-
I don't lose anything.
No, it doesn't matter. As long as you don't click the complete button.
It does matter
No.
because if the server restarts,
Yeah, as long as you do it while you're on.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Then again, it doesn't really matter because I've done it. I've already sold half the bales on from one field that's completely completed except for the delivery of the bales. I've delivered most of the bales, and then the mower is on course play on the other field. And I go, stuff it, I've had enough. Save, get out. Next time I load in, doesn't matter if someone else has been on the server either. Next time I load in, the mower restarts, finishes the field, does its field, and I keep picking up bales on the other field. And it's never bugged out.
Well, that's because you didn't save and restart the server. But if you restart the server, it will.
No. I'm already said, and it doesn't matter. I've saved the game. I haven't shut the server down. The server's still running, and other people log in and play. My contract sits there. As long as they don't click, because sometimes there's a glitch where they can click complete on other people's contract.
We tested that last week on Scrumps. There was a plowing contract or something. I forget what it was, where your plow had finished its Scrump whenever you went off.
Yes.
And I think Johnny clicked complete, and I watched your money on your thing, and your money went up because even though you weren't.
I was like, huh? How is this field already done when I came on? And I was like, I didn't collect that.
Shouldn't
But
have
it
told
was
him anything.
finished.
Yeah, you still get paid, but it's the grass contracts you got to be careful with. If someone completes a grass contract that you haven't finished, that's when it can, but not always bugs up.
Yeah.
Do it all the time.
Yeah, but I just left cosplay running when I left. Because
Yeah,
you guys were still on.
And yeah, that's right.
And when I
And
came back,
yeah.
The contract was ready, and I was like, huh?
Did you notice your tractor was pulled off to the side of the field?
Yeah.
Because I had a fertilizing contract in the same field, so I just super strength your tractor off to the side.
And me wondering why my tractors are all over the place here.
No.
So my bale trailer was somewhere in the middle of nowhere as well.
Oh, that wasn't me. I didn't move your bale trailer off the cell point, but I didn't do anything stupid. I just dragged it out of the way.
Alright, Wonko, I got everything off of field 1. Now I'm going to come start baling.
We need to windrow it first.
Nah, fuck it. Waste of time. I didn't windrow the last one because it's a waste of time.
How wide's our windrower then?
Like 2.5 meters. The baler's like 2.
Is anyone else having high ping?
No, 120.
60.
No, I've actually got. Yeah, I'm on like 60 to 70, which is usually I'm getting 70 to 80.
You said you did some hardware changes today?
Yeah, we've moved machine, and up until very recently it was really smooth on here for me, because before every 30 seconds I would get a stutter, and I do mean every 30 seconds.
It's still super
regularly.
smooth for me.
And
Considering that there's a lot of us on here.
Up until a short while ago, I wasn't having any issues. Now all of a sudden it's shooting up to 1,000.
Silky smooth here, mate.
I'm not having any sort of
haven't had one little jerk or stutter, nothing.
No.
Been silky smooth.
Them fuckers upstairs. I know it is. I'll have to go and have a word.
It's open
Somebody's
17
using all the
YouTube
bandwidth.
channels and game, and I'll open Skype with my friends.
Breaking all the bandwidth.
Do you guys notice that the younger generation seems to video call everybody?
Yes.
I find that weird and intrusive, and I don't like people video calling. I don't know why you
Anything the younger
And they
generation
all
does
do it on loudspeaker as well.
Yes. Why do they do that?
I have no idea.
If I could wear earbuds, I would. But I can't. I haven't found a set of earbuds yet that'll stay in my ear.
Bit of super glue, mate. They'll stay there.
I found a pair that worked pretty good for a while, but
Using
they're
the
only
AirPods Pro, I think they're quite good. And they have the different cushions on it. You can change it to a bigger or smaller or whatever you want, kind of.
well, yeah. There's another company of earbuds that I like. I really like them. They have really good quality and everything, and they have the same thing where they got different cushions that you change out, and they're comfortable, but they don't stay in my ear. The only way they stay in my ear is if I'm sitting in a chair at a desk, which kind of defeats the purpose of having something cordless.
No, and that's why I'm using the AirPods Pro, because at work I move around a lot. But they also use a lot of small machinery,
Mhm.
and they have a standard noise cancelling with how do you call that? Speak detection, maybe,
Yep.
or conversation detection.
Yep.
So when I work and I've got a machine on, it will shut down all noises. But as soon as someone starts talking to me, it will open up and
It
you can
detects
just
it
talk
detects a
normally to
decibel
someone.
range.
Yeah, it's just fantastic.
It's
if you ask
pretty
me.
cool. I tested a set out. We're standing next to a tractor running one day, and couldn't hear the tractor. And the guy was standing 20 feet away from me, and he was talking to me, and I could hear him.
Yeah, that's
So-
what it's working fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I have a couple of friends that have them, and they work really great. But they fall out of my ear. And
Right.
it's the way
You
my ear
can get earbuds that are on a headphone armature.
Well, then they would.
You know, that cup across your
earbud.
head and push into your ear, keep them in your ear.
Oh, you mean like the reusable earplugs? They're like on a headband. It looks like one of those hairbands that little girls would wear, but it's got the earplugs attached to it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I use for earplugs, so that I could take them on and off really quick.
Ah, right.
So, like when you need earplugs, and then you walk out of the noisy area, you could just pop them off, and you don't have to worry about getting your hand, washing your hands, and then squishing the little stupid
Worried about
earplugs that
that.
stick. Well, you don't want to have dirty hands squishing,
Nah.
earplugs and putting dirt in your ear.
Oh, never worried, mate.
Well, that's why you can't hear, because you've got years of
turn
dirt
up.
and grime and little
I've had my ears
fungus
cleaned out several times.
Oh yeah, I don't have to go get my ears cleaned out because I don't put dirt in my ears.
Well, I've got more hair growing inside my ears than I have on top of my head.
Well, that's actually mushrooms.
And the holes are very small. I've got very small ear holes. So I do have a problem there. But when I used to work, you'd get to work, put your earplugs in, and they didn't come out until you went and ate your lunch or morning tea or something. And that was good because I could hardly hear the boss talking to me, which was great. Yeah, just nod and smile. Yeah.
It's different if you work in a factory versus when you work in an environment where it's only noisy until you shut the tractor off. That's why I wear the reusable ones like on construction sites, because if you get away from the site, you don't need them. No, I ended up
always noisy where I worked. Always.
I just ended up getting a blue parrot headset that goes over my head, just like what I'm, just like my headphones here. I didn't want to have to wear a, headset, but I can't wear earbuds. They just fall out. Doesn't matter which ones I tried. I can only stay in when I'm sitting in a chair, which defeats the whole purpose.
Probably because there's not enough mass in between the two ears to hold the suction in.
Oh, is that it? I need more suction. I thought I'd have to have more of a vacuum in between my ears to hold it in.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
I got such a swelling brain, there's not enough room
Get
for
all
the
the air out
vacuum.
of there.
Yeah, pushed all the air out. No, I did have a pair of isotunes. I don't know if you're familiar with those.
Nah, never heard of them.
Yeah, they're called isotunes because they were the first earbuds to comply with it's basically what Apple copied with their latest earbuds, earbuds, whatever, AirPods, whatever they are. Apple copied them because isotunes had the first ISO standard hearing reduction earplugs with the earbuds built into it. So, like when you're, using hand tools or whatever with high noise where you would need hearing protection, you could use those, but then they had the earbuds, and then they also had the pass-through technology so that you could hear somebody clear as day, just like Scrump was talking about. They're the ones that started pioneering all that stuff. I had a pair of those for a short time, but the noise cancellation in them didn't quite work the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, the noise cancelling on the Apple AirPods on the new generation are adaptive. So if you're making less noise, it's also blocking less noise. So if you just walk it wouldn't block anything. But if you would be driving a car, it might be blocking just a little bit. But would you be using power tools, then it would block it. So depending on what you're doing, it will block the outside volume.
But
And it works really good.
But you can actually go into your settings and move some sliders to
Yes.
make. Yeah, see, my problem with the ISO tunes is I couldn't change the parameters, and it just drove me nuts.
You can change it to whatever you like.
Yeah, the Apple ones let you change what you hear with different volumes and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting a pair of those, but I don't know if they work with an Android phone.
I believe they do, because they're Bluetooth in the end. I mean, I've got it connected to my laptop as well, which is also a Google Chromebook. So.
Oh, okay.
But to get the best out of them, they work the best with an iPhone or an iPad, but they are still work through Bluetooth. So.
Well, I ended up buying a Blue Parrot headset, which was probably more than the AirPods would have been.
Well, the new gen AirPods are not cheap. It was €230, I think.
Well,
Since I use them every day at work, so it's worth it for me.
Yeah, my headset was probably, I think it was like $250, so yeah, about the same price. But the noise cancellation on this headset actually works, where the other stuff I tried doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
But the noise cancellation.
I'm still hearing echo. Is that Johnny still?
It's all Johnny. Because he won't wear his earbuds.
It's the good old Johnny.
Not a problem.
I don't think Johnny even wears a headset, though. He just has a microphone and the speakers, right?
Yep.
His spine can't handle anything more on top of his head.
No. Oh, I've got a headset, but the earpieces aren't over my ears.
Hmm.
I'm not going to wear a bloody headset. I don't care how good it is. It's not going to beat my 7.1 surround sound system. Why have a expensive surround system and use head fucking phones? Don't make sense to me.
Well, you keep your nice speakers for when you're playing single player.
No.
I mean, these Turtle Beach headset that I got, the speaker and sound quality is way better than anything of any speaker I've ever owned.
So my headsets are Razors and they are 7.1 surround sound, just on the headphones.
Yeah.
I've got Steel Series, so I've got no problems with.
Yeah, those are good too.
I think
I'm not
the
a-
second
I will be right back.
Steel
I'll grab me a drink.
Okay, bud.
I'm not a big sound guy when it comes to the TV or whatever. I don't need good sound. I don't know. Unless I'm playing music, then I like good sound quality. But other than that, anything else, it doesn't seem to matter to me.
Makes a big difference.
It doesn't to me, though.
Yeah, same as me. My ear. I have a buddy. We used. No, this is going way back. Every song, come on, he'd play with the equalizer to get the perfect balance for that particular song. I was like, it didn't make any difference to me, but okay.
Yeah, no, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
It's just like it's how sensitive you are to that, because it's like the with food. Some people are really sensitive to knowing every little spice and everything. They can just tell when they eat it. To me, it just tastes like food. My eyesight's the particular sense that I have. I can see details and things that other people may not notice. But when it comes to food or sound, I notice the sound in music, but that's it. And it's only because I play music.
I have no super senses. I'm half
You have
blind,
no-
half deaf, and I only taste meat.
I only taste meat. Well, you have to eat something else in order to taste it, just so you know.
Alright, I'm back. Hey, you're going fast over that field there, Jamie.
Yes.
Want to go?
No.
Okay. That answers that.
It's just easier. Go on. What do you want now?
Nothing. You already said no.
Go on.
You already told me no. I was gonna hire another tractor and put the baler on course play, but you already said no.
Hey, I figured the answer was going to be no anyway.
Well, I was having a little conversation with myself about doing something like that. This is a big field, and we have got money in the contract.
And I was thinking, if we put the baler on course play, hire another tractor, I can start picking the bales up when the course play that's on the mower finishes. We hire another baler and have him work on baling too.
I think you both got the wrong farm there. You should have taken the contextual yard.
Alright, let's do it then.
You want me to hire
what do
another
you got?
tractor and go pick up bales?
Yep.
What do you
Right.
got course plays wages set to?
Expensive, because my money is
Yeah.
dropping like crazy.
Yes.
Really?
Be.
Why would you
It's,
do that?
25%, I think.
I think it's expensive, but that's because I don't have much.
No, it's set to 0%.
Oh,
There you go.
We set it to 0.
If you-
It was 25.
You can't set it to 25.
605 it cost me yesterday.
Either 50%, 100%, or 0, and that's dumb.
Or maybe it was 50% was set at.
50%'s all right. If you're losing money because of wages at the moment, because you're using a normal hard worker. Horseplay's wages were set to the
Well,
hard
they were
worker's
set to
wages.
0, so you shouldn't have been losing anything.
You shouldn't have been getting anything unless you're using a
Or
normal
something
hard
else
worker
then,
as
maybe.
well.
No, well, no, I don't. But it said loan payment. September
Oh, your loan
minus
payment.
600.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
loan
loan
payment.
payment. That's different. It's not.
That's not
That
wages.
isn't a do. Not wages, no.
I know, okay, it's my loan. Yeah, I think you're right.
Interest on your loan.
Yeah, it was the
Because we-
interest. Yeah.
Because we've got the bank mod, don't we?
Yeah.
Which they wouldn't have had in this era.
What?
You wouldn't have been paying through the nose in the 40s, 50s.
Okay.
Banks were still reasonable back then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
The interest rates were higher back then than they are now.
No.
All
No.
right.
Pretty sure they are. At least they were over here. My parents
Back-
took a loan to build their house, and that was over 12%, I think. And
Yep.
at the moment, it's only 3% over here.
Yeah, the interest rates back then used to be quite high because the loan amounts weren't very high.
I got a loan to buy a farm and I had it paid off within 12 months.
Well, that has
I
nothing
paid
to do with
bugger
the
all
interest
interest.
rate.
Couple of $100 on interest. That was all.
Yeah, but that's because your term was so short.
No, I took out a 10-year term.
Well, you just said it was a year.
But you paid
And
it
I
off
paid
in a
it
year.
in a year.
If you pay the loan off early, you don't pay 9 years worth of interest, you schmuck.
I know that. And they didn't want me to pay it off.
Of course they didn't, because you're screwing them out of interest, because you're
Bloody
you're
oath. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over there, you have to pay a fee if you want to buy it off earlier.
Yeah, see, that sucks. I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Still a certain amount a year that's free.
Some some will do that to you here.
Yep.
If you pay it off within 6 months or something. Yeah.
Now, I've got a loan on my house. But, most of it is already paid off, but I still got some left. But if I want to reduce that, and I want to, for example, put $10,000 in it this year, then that's free of charge. But if I want to do 20,000, I'll have to pay a fee for everything above 15,000.
Yep.
Mm,
Same here. Because they're not making the money on you.
yeah.
And
Yeah, you
still,
gotta-
that fee, it's still better to pay that fee
It is.
than sticking to the rent. But yeah,
I think they call them anniversary payments.
yes. So I just try to pay as much of a year without the extra costs.
It depends. If it's for personal, then I usually just throw a little extra every payment. But if it's like a business loan or something, then I just go the whole term because there's no point in paying it off early for business.
Well, no, because you can get tax relief and stuff, can't you?
Well, you could write off the interest, but it's more or less like if you're making money, it's just a cash flow thing, you know. Because you don't get any tax incentive for paying the principal back. You just, if you pay interest, you can write that off your taxes as an expense. But you know, there's that whole money in, money out every month, so it doesn't really matter. You know, as long as you can make the payments, you're paying to use somebody else's money to make your own money out of. Whereas in a personal aspect, it's just costing more out of your pocket to pay that interest.
You in chat, Gizmo?
Fine.
Yeah, I am.
Yes.
But I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
have my headphones mic turned up enough. I've been chatting to you, but you obviously didn't hear me.
No.
But
What we
I
do now?
haven't got.
Welcome in.
I haven't got the Discord screen up. I've got a video on top of it, so I couldn't see that my light weren't flashing.
Oh, well, we can hear you crystal clear now, I guess.
Right, good.
Well, financing that got popular in the 80s has really hurt our economies because people are financing freaking everything.
Yeah, nobody saves up anymore, do they?
Oh man, it's it's like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna finance a house. Well, what happens when you have to finance a house? You just make the house more expensive. Because the housing market and the price of a house isn't determined by anything other than what somebody's going to pay for it. Because if you build the same house in two different locations, it's two different prices. So why is it $100,000 more in this township than it is in the other township when it's the exact same materials that you're using coming from the exact same place?
Location, location, location.
Location, yeah, that's what I would say. I mean, if you over here for an apartment in Amsterdam, I don't even want to be found dead there. But
yeah, but
you're
I'm
paying
talking
1,200 till 1,500 euros a month for renting a place that holds only 10 square meters. Over here, you can rent a villa for that in the countryside.
Yeah, but I'm talking like assuming you already own the land, it's the cost of building. They change the cost of building depending on what town it's in because they assume that the people building it have money.
Now over here, if you want to build a house, or you have to pay the land as well, and land prices are freaking high.
I understand the price of land because they don't make any more of it. You can't go somewhere else and
building ground over here in the Netherlands. It's close to, and I'm in the countryside, which is cheaper than in the cities, but I think it's 1,500 a square meter. So if you want to buy a place with like
1,000 square meters.
1,000 square meters, that's already
A lot of money.
a lot of money. Yeah, it's somewhere like $300,000-400,000 just for the ground.
Yeah, but 1,000 square meters, that place is huge.
It's 100 by 100 meters. It's not that huge.
No, the land. That's the land.
Well,
that's not the
only the
building.
land.
Oh, for the land.
That's
You
the
still have to
land.
build
It's
a
not the
house.
building.
I was gonna
That's
say, I'm like,
the area of the property.
I'm like, isn't that a couple of football pitches?
No.
No.
No, definitely not.
It's about 300 feet square. Maybe a bit, maybe 325.
300, but yeah, 300 by 300. Yeah. Like my lot here is 150 by 150. That's a traditional city lot here.
What's a football field? Isn't it 100 meters?
Yeah.
No idea.
Football's 100 yards, yes.
Well, that's 100 yards. I'm talking soccer. I thought it was 100 meters by...
You said football. Football is not soccer.
Football and soccer discussion again.
Oh, fine. I'll call it soccer then.
No, call it football because that's what it's called.
Yeah, because last time I said that, when you say football, we're going to assume that it's our football. And I said, okay.
Well,
Then I call
football
it
was
football.
around long before American football.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
That's how the fight started. Anyway.
No, football and soccer were actually two different games. not American football, but they were two similar different games. And I can't remember. I remember reading the story about it, and they diverged because they ended up calling American football was also called football too. And over here we just diverged and called it soccer, where the rest of the world started calling it football because, I don't know, football seems to be a more accurate description of what happens in soccer.
Yeah.
So
It's
should be
American
handball
football, it's
for the
all
American
about
one.
handball.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody started playing it with a flattened soccer ball one time, and then it turned into football. What football is today is not what it started out as either.
No, that's true.
There was a lot more.
Violent.
There was a lot more foot involved with it originally. Basically, they took rugby, but instead of throwing the ball backwards, they set up to throw the ball forwards. Like the original premise of it.
Doc, something's blocked by an object.
I know. I'm getting there. I'm working on
Okay.
it.
Just thought I'd mention it.
Yeah.
Which of the helpers, Wonko? Which out of the 10?
Yeah.
I think it's that helper called Doc, but I could be wrong.
I'm just looking at how many workers are working on this map, and Johnny, we got none of them.
Do you see how cool my new tractor is, Wonko?
Oh God, what have you got?
I got another John Deere. But I got a different one than you got. I got the one you should have gotten.
Of course.
Yes. Very German.
In real life, John Deere are having problems in America.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Being boycotted.
Yeah.
Well, that can't be good for business, can it?
Trump's calling them out, isn't he, Doc?
Oh yeah, I heard about that as well. Yeah.
Well, John Deere. So what happened is John Deere has had a plant in Mexico for quite a number of years. And they build the 5000 series tractors there. And I think they build some large compacts and some other things they build there. Well, they've been slowly taking everything that the Augusta, Georgia plant was building, and they've been moving it down to Mexico. And then they recently announced that they were going to move their headquarters to Mexico, I think.
Wow.
That's a patriotic thing to do.
Yeah, that is a bit of a weird
People
thing.
labour.
Well,
I can rip them off more. And it goes along with their communist ideas. John
no,
Deere is a
it has
communist
nothing
company.
No, the communist company. It has to do with corporate tax rates.
Yeah, I figured it was a tax dodge.
It's a tax dodge is all it is. It's the reason why, a lot of companies leave the United States, put their headquarters in other countries so they don't have to pay the U.S. taxes.
Yeah, that's
So they're expanding,
The
they're
Mexican
expanding
Empire.
to make more products in Mexico that are currently made in the U.S., and they want to close one of their major plants in the U.S. so that those things will be made in Mexico.
yeah, because it's cheaper, which makes sense.
I wonder
Well,
why
that's-
Americans are up in arms about that.
Well, the
Like
big
that they're going to lose jobs. Mexico's going to get them. They're going to pay the Mexicans a third of what they were paid. Now they're going to dodge more tax. So the next job that any poor sucker gets, because of John Deere, their income tax is going to go up because the government's missing income tax from the
government's
company.
not missing income tax.
If everyone had to pay tax, regardless of who you are, what company you belong to, and where you are based in the world, you have to pay the tax rate from the country that you're based from, the world would be a hell of a better place. Personal
You get
income tax would be next to nothing.
If you want to fix this problem, you just get rid of corporate tax rates so there's no incentive to leave the country.
Trying to fix the problem, you get rid of governments.
You can't get rid of the governments. You have to have the governments to maintain law and order, because anarchy does not work. Have you seen any of the vampire shows?
Have law and order.
I haven't seen vampires.
The governments break the most laws that of anybody, and that includes bloody organised crime.
And you're wrong there, Johnny. They just change them to their own benefit. That's not breaking them.
Well, I was going to say, because our politicians are very crafty, because they always write the law to exempt themselves. They always seem to be exempt for some reason.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They make up the laws that if anyone else breaks, they get locked up. But the same laws don't apply to them because they're exempt of those laws.
Well, yeah, it was
Why?
like when we got our Obamacare, but government employees were exempt from it. They didn't have to have the government health insurance, even though they were government employees, because it wasn't very good. So they exempt themselves from it, and then they made government employees get health care that was twice as good as any private company could buy, basically. Because if you were insuring a government employee, you didn't have to meet all those standards, and you didn't have to insure all those other things that were going to cost money. Yeah, they just write themselves out of it, so they don't have, they think they're exempt from it. And they put it in the law. And then they pass the law. And then people vote these idiots back in.
Doesn't matter who you vote in, they're all the same, mate. All tarred
They're
with
not all the
brush.
same. They're not all
All
the same.
tarred by corporate greed.
No. Donald
There
Trump
is
is
not a
not.
politician out there that can't be bought. And
No,
if they
can't
can't
buy.
be bought, they disappear.
No, he's still here. They keep trying to get rid of him, but he's still alive somehow.
That was a ploy. It was
Yeah, it
never
was.
meant to be a Trump assassination.
What are you talking about?
That was all a ploy
Oh,
to make him more popular again. People support him because the poor bastard got shot.
I don't think the poll showed that immediately afterwards.
No, we do wrong. Actually, John.
No, it
You're
didn't.
wrong. I think you're wrong there, mate.
There's no.
I don't think
You
you gained anything out of it.
You can't tell me that guy was a good enough shot that he could nick his ear at the precise moment when he turned his head.
Yeah.
There is no way that was a ploy. That was a headshot.
Yeah.
Which is,
He was a shit shot.
well, obviously he wasn't a marksman, because marksmen don't shoot for the head. They shoot for the chest for that exact reason.
Yeah, because it's a bigger target.
Aim
When
small,
they-
miss small.
When they train you to use a firearm, you don't shoot for the head because it's a smaller target. You always shoot
to
for
the chest. Yes.
You shoot for a heart shot because you could take out a heart, you could take out a lung, you could take out a major artery.
Yes, unless you use explosive rounds, then it doesn't matter. You can hit any part of the body.
He went for a headshot because he's played too much Call of Duty.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's not even funny because that's what it is. That's why he shot for the head.
Is that what you reckon?
Oh, I know. I know it was. He was a young guy, and he obviously didn't have any formal firearms training, because if he had, he would have shot for the chest. I don't believe Donald Trump was wearing a bulletproof vest, but he very well may have. But I haven't heard anybody talking about any of that.
Right.
I mean,
Well, they're not going to announce it either.
I don't think they would. I don't think they would ever say that.
Well, the only other reason that he went for that might have been that he thought he was wearing a vest.
Maybe I think he was going for the headshot because from his
Yeah, that's
entire
what you
life
do in
he's
Call
been
of Duty.
Yeah, he's been playing
Exactly.
Call of Duty. Maybe he was a bad. I mean, that's a fairly easy shot. He wasn't very far away. That's a pretty easy shot. I could have made that shot easily, and I don't shoot very often.
Most other assassinations was done through the chest or body somewhere, except for JFK.
I mean,
He was shot in the back of the head. Bloody good shot.
I mean, marksman snipers will go for the head sometimes, but 9 times out of 10, you're going at the chest.
Yeah.
And he had a semi-automatic rifle, so it's not like... Well, he did shoot multiple shots and miss the other ones, but you can't... Once you fire a weapon, the first shot out is your best shot. You can't go and shoot multiple shots because the barrel's warm. So your accuracy after the initial cold barrel shot is, continually goes down. But yeah, I mean, he shot him in the ear. That wasn't a ploy. There is multiple foreign, people that want him gone.
I don't think it was a ploy. If they would have missed him by 5 meters, then it might have been a ploy.
If they'd have caught him when he was walking up, trying to get on the roof, in plain daylight, if they'd arrested him then, I could understand why people would say he was a plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no one saw him. Come on.
Well,
What do
they
you mean no one
did.
saw him? Lots of people saw him. There's videotape of him climbing on the roof with a weapon. People were calling the police and everything.
911.
Yeah, people were calling the police. They were trying to get attention of local law enforcement that was on site for the rally. I mean, these normal people have video on their phones of this guy climbing up on the roof. Like, how the Secret Service missed it, I don't know. Nobody knows.
They were paid to.
Well,
They were part of the plot.
they have been since Trump announced he was running for president again. They have been purposely not giving him full Secret Service detail. That is a thing.
I'm surprised
Yep.
he's not paying for his own.
The taxpayer money.
I think he can afford to pay for his own.
Yeah, I think he probably.
Yeah, he could. I don't know when you got
Because the Secret Service are obviously not up to the job for whatever reason.
Well, one of the problems is that normally the Secret Service detail that you would give to a presidential candidate is about half of what Donald Trump's been getting as far as resources go, but has such a high threat level against him that he needs presidential detail, but they're not giving him presidential detail because they're not giving him resources based on threat assessment. They're giving him resources based on his position.
Let's see.
So because he's a candidate for president, he's getting very little resources, but normally the threat against a candidate for president is not very high, where he has a very huge threat assessment against him. And Kamala Harris is actually not getting as much either that she probably should be getting too, because normally when the vice president runs for president, they're getting the full president detail, but they're taking resources away from her to try to give more to Trump, and they just don't have enough people, plain and simple, because this situation usually doesn't happen.
Who in their right mind would put their own body in front of one of those dopes to save them?
They're great
Not me.
patriots.
Patriotism is dead, mate.
They are. They serve for no other purpose than to, protect the leaders of our country, no matter how they feel about them.
It's the same
They're
as
better
troops
suited
going to
than you and I.
war. Troops going to war don't always feel for the right reason, but they do it because they are dedicated to the cause.
Because they love the country and they want to serve the country. I mean, because being a politician, being a politician is supposed to be to serve the country in our country.
It's not.
Well, no, because we don't have term limits. We have career politicians. They're bought and sold, and they're in it for themselves. I mean, they come in there making no money like the Obamas. The Obamas were dirt poor when they went into the White House, and they come out millionaires, and they only get a $400,000 salary every year. So you don't become a millionaire by making $400,000 a year.
Jesus, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
Everything else was paid for, so why not?
No, they're multi-millionaires when they left that White House after being there for 8 years.
Yeah.
Because they're all making money on insider trading, and they made it legal.
All the kickbacks.
No, the kickbacks are illegal and they get traced. They're all making it from insider trading. They buy and sell companies that they know that the legislation they pass is going to benefit or hurt. So they'll buy a company knowing that 6 to 8 months from now we're going to pass a law that's going to devastate this company. So they buy it, stocks go up, then they sell it. Or vice versa. We're going to make a law that only this company's going to benefit from. They all do it, and it's a big problem.
Mm-hmm. It's all the whole planet's in the hands of the world government, not country governments.
Well, that's not far off either. There is a one world government that's trying to take over the world.
I think they'll try, and I think they have limited success, but I don't think it'll last because people just will not have.
Oh,
yeah,
why
but
are we putting up with what we got now?
We're not there yet, Wanko.
Exactly. I'm saying if they do manage, they might get it for a short period of time, but it won't last.
Well, it'd be like the
Why do you think they've been breeding stupid people? So they'll just buckle under the pressure. They're too stupid to do anything. They're too stupid to organise riots. And when they do organise a riot, it's just chaos. Because they're too stupid. This didn't happen centuries ago. Hundreds of years ago. When they rioted, it made a big difference. It's just the people have been bred to obey.
They haven't been bred to. They've been indoctrinated by public education.
Yeah. Yes.
Pink Floyd was singing about that in the 70s.
Yes. It's been happening since the 40s.
Since they started public education. Because the 40s is when it started coming around, where they had to have a standard of public education.
Yeah, and then they slowly, over the years, dumbed it down further, and further.
Because education used to be done in the local school system that was run by the town of the people that lived in that town.
Yeah.
You think so, Jimmy?
Getting dark.
What?
I might have to get my John Deere on fire so I can see what I'm doing.
That's it, mate.
That's easy. Just start the engine.
As it happens, it's got quite good lights. This.
Well, we're gonna have to sleep again.
Yep.
How you like my tractor, Michael?
I haven't seen it yet.
Don't say it now.
It's the 710.
I need to feed my cows before we sleep.
Is it green?
It's a John Deere.
Yeah. It's green.
It's 710. Yeah, it's made out of manhide. Were we gonna start upping a year per every month, or was that just a figment of my imagination?
Your imagination.
Your imagination, but
Oh, I thought we talked about increasing the year every month so that we could get some new stuff in the shop.
I think that was the voices in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
got to stop eating cheese before you go to bed.
Doggets get tired of
cheese
doing a
does it?
huge contract on small equipment.
Well, I don't know. It was like, because we're at 1969 now, and we'll get to 1970, but we'll be lucky if we made it to 72.
Well, no, we'll probably shoot forward to 1979 or something. So we can start getting 80s tractors.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. So when we got to January, we were going to bump it up a decade or something, right?
I think so, yeah. I think it'd be nice to get to the 80s stuff for the rest of the 22 run.
Yeah. Okay, alright. So I wasn't crazy, I just misinterpreted it.
Well, no, you're crazy. I mean, no, you weren't crazy, Doc.
Well, you know, Wonko, if we did a year per month, that would...
It get too complicated.
What do you mean it get too complicated? Don't you just go in there and click it up a year?
Well, the problem is, we'll have to... I think we have to keep the first tractors year, so the 1960. But then we'd have to get rid of all the equipment we got now, because otherwise the mod list is just going to be insane.
Oh, you don't have mods in to support the next decades.
I'm thinking no, because it takes long enough to load in, and it's already getting a bit silly.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I thought the mods were already here.
No. No, we've got the 60s.
The years mod is here, but not the equipment that's going with it.
Yeah, I thought the equipment was here. Yeah.
No, so it'll be another mod with a whole load of other bits of equipment.
I had all equipment for the 70s, 80s, and 90s on my server. And that was 316 mods, I think. But I have to be honest, it was still running smooth.
Still runs smooth as silk.
Maybe
yeah, but
you want to see
people, but it was still smooth.
You want to see Finnish Farmers mod list? Close to 4 gig.
yeah, but
And
equipment
it runs
mods,
pretty bloody smooth to me.
equipment mods don't affect anything really, other than load-in time.
Yeah, it's just the load-in time while it grabs the list. That's all.
Yeah.
It'd be different if you had all the equipment on the map. Then you wouldn't be able to move. But if they're in the mod folder, It shouldn't be a problem. It will take you maybe a minute longer to load because it's loading all the mods in the list as it's going down. But no,
Doesn't it only load them? No, it has to load every mod that's active.
Yeah.
yeah, every active mod it loads on
Yeah, but
as it's
most
loading the
of the
game.
equipment stuff, it's all really small mods.
Yeah, for the most part, the gigs are pretty small.
What have we
on
got,
them.
Jamie? We got 3 gig, don't we? Of mods.
Oh,
I
I have
don't
to go
think I
look
would
and
be
see.
worried about it. Yeah, I don't think I would be worried about it.
No, neither would
Well,
I.
the only
It's not the
issue
mods.
I've got is you
It's
say
what's
this.
on the map that slows it down.
No, as I was saying, the only reason I'm worried about it is if we start playing and there's 6 of us and it starts acting up because we've got 300 plus mods,
Hmm.
it's going to take a long time to get it all sorted.
Hmm.
Whereas if I just drop the 50s, 60s and leave the 70s and 80s stuff in, and we adjust the monies accordingly so people aren't out of pocket.
I don't, because
Nah,
I think
it sounds like a lot of shit.
I think the 50s and 60s stuff isn't going to be very much anyway. There's not much in the store.
We have up to 6 regulars on a Friday night with all our mods, and it runs silky smooth.
We're at 4.8.
There you go, 4.8. Jesus,
I'm
we're
probably
close to
higher on
finish.
mine.
I don't think
Where you will be.
the equipment it's a problem. I think we run into issues when we start
Oh.
getting into other types of mods that have scripts and stuff.
Depends on the scripts, what they do. If they interfere with each other, that's when the problems happen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Anything, but most of the equipment stuff doesn't have specific scripts. It's really not an issue.
No.
Mine's on 4.5 gigabytes.
Yeah, I knew
And
yours
that's
would be a
still
little
okay.
bit bigger because you're using all our mods on a Friday plus a few extras that you added.
Yeah.
Which is great. I like the ones you added.
Okay, I'll just stick it all in.
I think you're just
You
having
can only
flashbacks
suck
from
it and see,
17,
mate.
Wacko.
Suck it and see.
I mean, we're going to the 70s next one go, so I would only put in everything for the 70s and not
no,
everything
that's-
for the 80s as well.
We're not going to have time to do 70s and then through to 80s. And I quite like this 80s.
Okay. Yeah. So you want to put in 70s and 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
think
put them both in. I think it'll be
I think it
fine.
will be okay.
Because if you're going to try and be realistic, people in the 70s and 80s still had 1950s equipment on their farm that they
No, I
used
know.
from time to time.
I know.
So
They're
just
still
add
using
them.
it now.
Suck it and see. Add them.
I'm done feeding my cows, so I'm okay to sleep through the night.
Just give me a second, or give me a warning before you do.
Well, you get a box that pops up.
Yeah, but I got throttle on my tractor heading down the field, so
I'm running towards my house now. I'll tell you when I'm there.
I mean, I'm ready.
Alright. If you're ready, then Jamie,
I'm good. Go
pay
ahead.
attention.
Okay, we're doing it.
Nah, bugger it. Don't want to.
Oh,
So what are you
Have a
thinking?
drink.
Another couple of gameplays, or do you want to add the 80s mods for next week, but then keep the year set for the 69 for now?
Yeah.
that's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, and then
Because I'm thinking next week, everybody finish up what we got to do this week and try to do it during this week. Finish all your contracts if you can, so that next week when we get on, it's bing, bing, boom. We just blast through the wintertime.
Start next Sunday in 1979.
Well, no,
Why? Won't matter.
Well, it won't matter because if we don't change it, nothing will matter, right?
No, it won't matter.
All it's going to change is what's in the shop.
Yeah.
I have to change all the prices. Otherwise, you'll be making money won't match up.
Okay, yeah. So we have to wait till the end of the year. Everybody's done with contracts, right? So we do it in January when we swap all that over.
Yeah, we'll move it.
So
84, 85. Unless people really want to go to maybe late 70s.
But 85 is
So
fine.
whatever you want to do, mate.
yeah,
Doesn't make any difference. Go to 85 if you want.
Yeah.
Go to
Doesn't make any
whatever
difference.
You want.
Well, the equipment between 72 and 85 really, as far as capacity, wasn't very different. You didn't get any major changes till the late 80s. Like, probably after 85 is when we started getting some major advancements in the next generation, I would call it. Because actually, right now, 68, 69 was the beginning of that next generation of equipment.
Yeah, because most of this hasn't really changed much from Second World War, has it?
No, because that 1206 in the John Deere, well, those new John Deeres are called the next generation. The 4010, 3010, 4020, 3020. That was the next generation they called them because they finally left the 2 cylinders and they started a whole different era, which led you basically to the 80s.
Late 70s is when John Deere brought out their mobile campfires instead of the ones just burning in the field.
What's that?
First generation of mobile. The mobile campfire.
Oh, fuck off. Doing the mobile.
Buy
You
an
don't
80s
start on
John Deere.
fire.
Picture libraries. Don't
So why
disprove that.
to go to 89, Jimmy? What's your rationale there? Jimmy's in chat saying go to 89. You must
That
know.
what year he was born?
Yeah, go to 89.
Year I graduated high school.
Oh.
Yeah, 89 is one of the best years ever. Yeah.
Because the other
I
thing
think I
is
agree
you
with
don't
Jimmy on that.
you don't have to take all the updated equipment. It's there for us to use. So if I still want to use a 1970s tractor out of the shop and try to get a few more gameplays out of that, then so be it.
I don't remember anything great coming out in 89. 88 was great because Case IH was formed and they released the Magnum.
Yeah, 89 was way better.
What was so great about 89?
89.
I was born in
89.
89.
I was going to say you were born in 89. I graduated high school in 89. You were born in 89. Asshole. I figured that was coming.
89 was crap because I was married.
There you go, John. You can do it all over again and do it right this time, buddy.
Yeah, no.
You don't do nothing right.
No, I don't.
I don't see a
When
baler
it
and a
comes to
trailer
women-
coming up the hill here yet. Where's that at?
I don't know. I can't find it. I've lost it.
He's just been sitting here whinging about everything we say. He hasn't actually been doing anything.
No, really? I mean, oh,
Yeah, I don't remember any. I remember the Case IH dealer that was right across, across town. He used to walk up there all the time with my grandfather. And I remember when the Magnum came out and I got the literature right off the rack there because they were brand new and they had like 5 of them on the lot.
I don't remember 87, 88, 89, 90.
Because you were drunk.
Yes.
He was lying in the gutter with Brummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just what I was thinking.
What are you doing in Birmingham? I don't know if
I
I can
intend to
respect.
drive straight through Birmingham as fast as possible.
I don't have the same respect for you anymore, not knowing you were in a gutter with Brummy. I don't have a problem that you were in a gutter. It's just that you were there with Brummy. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Mm.
I don't know if Brummy's going to rewatch anybody's stream. Hopefully not. He'll hate me now. He'll hate all of us again. We don't want him to hate us. We like Brummy.
That's he's sucking up now and hoping that if Brummy does watch the stream, he knows he was joking. And
Too late, he already quit after the first comment. He went, I'm not watching this shit.
He would have never watched this far in anyway. Well, I haven't been able to be on. I don't remember the last time I've been available on a Friday to play, so. I wish he'd come in on Sunday. It's a lot easier for me.
Yeah, I've asked him several times, but he's not interested.
No, he enjoys his Friday. And that's it. Doesn't want to, not interested.
Did he tell you his missus has gone carnivore now?
Yes.
Really?
Reading.
Well, I've seen articles now that are highlighting this carnivore thing.
Yeah, but what are they saying? Because most of them are talking out their ass.
I don't know. They're promoting it like it's
Actually promoting it, are they? That makes a
yeah.
change.
Well, over here they're promoting it, but the funny part is that there's this dietitian, nutritionist, and for years and years and years he's been like the go-to guy in Hollywood. Apparently,
Johnny,
they
Now what?
do you want a bale with the trailer attached and just set the bales off? That's what I did.
I don't know.
I did with the farm all. Sorry, I did with the farm all.
proper
Oh.
And then
the proper answer is yes or no, Johnny. Yes or no.
let me reword that. Johnny, do you want to go get the farm all on a bale trailer, hook up the back of the APN, and then you can just bale and set them off in a pile after. I did so many and then just unload it to the side. Thank you.
That's Australian for I can't be fucked. Anyway,
Doc.
yeah, I would say that they've like replaced the keto diet with this carnivore diet. Is this latest fad here in California anyway? So one of the dietitian nutritionists that he's responsible for making all those people in Hollywood look the way they do on TV.
Yeah.
Mm.
So when they need they need an actress to lose 25 pounds in 3 weeks, they call him in. And for years and years and years, his diet is very, very simple. It's eat as much meat and vegetables as you want and eat nothing else. And it's basically the basis of the carnivore diet, essentially.
Yeah.
And now they've been promoting him everywhere now because all of a sudden, I think he's had a podcast or something out there, but he was never popular in any sort of way, and now all of a sudden everybody's interviewing him and have him on their talk shows and everything else.
We should one go on an American talk show. That would be fun.
How'd you figure that?
We'll bring him on this old. We'll bring him on this old house.
Entertainment for us.
I could see Wonko being on this old house. Yep. Actually, you'd probably like
I'd watch
show,
that.
Walker.
I'd watch that. Yeah.
This old house, that sounds familiar.
Bob Vila.
Yeah, Bob Vila used to do it. And he had a
Woodworking guy.
Yeah, he had a sponsorship with Craftsman Tools back in the day. So he was always. And then later on, there was a spin-off called Home Improvement. It was like a.
Yeah, that was good.
There was a comedy show based on. Tim Allen was playing Bob Vila, where he always had Binford Tools. He was always promoting the tools on his
Yes, I remember saying that.
Yeah.
It's good to have you home again.
Yep. So Bob Vila got kicked off of Home Improvement because he was promoting sponsorship of Craftsman Tools and stuff like that. The show's still around. They still do it. Most of them are out in New England, where they take these 200-year-old plus houses and they restore them and rehash them back to their original glory and stuff like that. And I can't remember his name, but there was another guy that worked as part of their crew, and he had the New Yankee Workshop where he would show him building furniture and stuff. I mean, basically these guys were doing what a lot of these YouTubers do today, He would just be like, oh, we're going to build this curio cabinet, and he would just make it like, in a half-an-hour TV show. It's like, oh, that looks easy.
I hate to tell you this, John.
What?
Took the wrong bale trailer, buddy.
It was on the back of this.
Yeah, because that's the one that took the round bales to shop with last week. You were here last week. You saw us using the blue bale trailers.
That was sweet. My potatoes for brain cells can't handle that kind of information anymore.
Remember those green trailers acted shit with the bales and they spilled all over everywhere?
Oh, yeah.
What, these ones?
That.
Yep.
I definitely remember that. I don't want to remember that, but I do.
Shit. How the hell did I end up over here?
Where's the other body bale trailer?
Two of them in the air in front of the cow barn by the silage pits.
I don't know, Jamie. I think you picked the wrong partner to be on your farm. This one sounds like a cow.
So, Doc, I know how to deal with it. I got a 16-year-old and I know how to deal with kids that just don't want to do what they want to do and listen and make up their own rules as they go along.
Have selective hearing.
Just have to toe the hard line and say, go do it. Go get the right trailer.
Selective hearing, I have that as well. It's definitely a problem. My missus always complains I have selective hearing.
Yes, it's mine.
Seems to be a common.
You have not been selected.
We're going to have to turn traffic off. It's getting pretty hectic around here.
Only because you're driving too slow on the road, Doug.
No,
I complete train behind you the last time.
I can't pull out on the road. Try pulling out on the road. There's like 16 cars, all in a row.
Are you reseeding your field 20, Gizmo?
No, I'm harvesting.
Oh, you're on 22. How's the old dog doing, Gizmo?
He's alright, yeah, he's almost back to normal. He's still fussy, but he's got the he's pretty much back to normal. That's all good.
Everybody get their contracts finished in this game day.
In this game day.
I don't think that's
That's going to be difficult.
We got all day.
I just started mowing.
I just set the time to 1.
Oh God, I forgot I gave you the keys to the cabinet.
Oh, you gave me the cabinet?
Just remember what happened with the credit card.
Yeah.
Hey,
Privileges can be
hey.
revoked, eh?
Hey. Who did all of that contract on Field 1 this week?
Some
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Horseplay, wasn't it?
No. Courseplay
Oh.
helped me.
Ah.
yeah.
Well, if I could name it, AI Wonko, I would have. Actually, probably would have named it Wannabe Wonko. That way it rhymed.
finally, I have intelligence.
Hey, I didn't
Only
say
taken 54 years, but hey ho. Whatever it is, I don't know, 50 something.
that. I don't know if you're going to be in the right age to get the implant or not, Wonko. You might miss the implant. Scrump's going to get the implant. He's young enough. I think they're going to take all us old people and just let us die, and then they'll
Start over
implant.
again.
They'll implant the people they want to with the superior intelligence.
I don't
Got a
know if
phone
I
call
want
back
that.
and forth.
I mean, if everyone has superior intelligence and they all have the same skill set, who's going to do the laundry and clearing the streets and
Well,
being
that-
the garbage man?
Well, it's only going to be people with money. The rest of us, they're going to drug up and make us play games.
Yeah.
Here's your media. They're going to give us drugs. That's how it's going to go. They already do. I mean, we're already peasants, slaves to the corporations. But I mean, it'd be like having your smartphone in your head.
Great, so now I can sit and watch TikToks all day without actually having to.
No, you won't have to. You'll just be sitting there seeing it in your head. No, actually, because those people won't be watching TikTok. No. I mean, we're only about 1.5 years or maybe 2 years away from most of the shit we watch it being AI generated anyway. Actors and actresses is going to become a thing of the past. I mean, come on, Wonko's drawing pictures with ChatGPT for his map.
And we thought he was so clever about making them themselves. Himself. And now you gave away the secret. Look,
I know.
it was long ago. It was
Yeah,
just the Chinese PC doing that.
Yeah, but that's how it's going to go with AI, because Adobe's the same way. Photoshop, you don't have to know how to do anything in Photoshop anymore. You just have to tell Photoshop what you want it to do, like you're talking to me or you right now. You just write to what you want it to do to the picture or whatever, and it just does it, because it's AI powered. So everything that's AI powered is going to become suddenly useful without having any skills to make it useful. Because right now, there's a lot of jobs that pay a lot of money to do that kind of work. But you're not going to have to anymore. You're not going to need, TV show writers. Because the AI is just going to write the plot that they want done.
And it's all going to be the same.
It's all the same now.
Well, no, there's still some good stuff out there. You just got to look for it.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, I won't disagree with that. It's just that the majority of stuff you see is so predictable because it's all written the same way, because the writers all write the same way, because everything has to be, politically correct, and everything has to be on the acceptable side of things. The only place you can find traditional things that go outside of it is comedy. You'll find comedians that'll go outside the acceptable thing, but that's the norm for comedy.
Yeah, but they're getting shut down over here.
They're getting shut down everywhere. I don't know. Ricky Gervais will probably end up in jail.
Anyone so far that's getting away with it, that I've heard of recently anyway. He's still giving it to him.
Sometimes I wonder if they just let him do it and they won't let anybody else make the same jokes, you know what I mean?
Possibly.
It kind of like the, what would you call it? Like, I don't know. It's one of those things where they would let him do it as long as they can kind of like, they can sort of keep him in line somehow, you know what I mean? Like, we'll let him make these jokes and then we'll just make it out like it's just him or he's just that far outside the line or whatever. But
there's a few other comedians that still like get fucked and do their comedy traditional way. There's still a few.
Well,
not
like
just Ricky.
Yeah.
Becoming less and less.
Yeah.
Like controlled resistance, You got to have some sort of, you got to have something to get all bent out of shape about, But you know the enemy,
Shouldn't have
so
to. Shouldn't have to.
I don't know. It's just like controlled opposition, I guess. We'll just make it out like it's just him. He's just that kind of guy. We'll let him do it because he's really popular, because people like the things he says, but we'll try to instill in the population that it's just him and he's just outside the border, but anybody else that tries to do it will shut.
I'll tell you what, that's exactly what they're doing with over here. So they've got rent of protest. So if there's anything that's anti-migration or anti-woke, the same people turn up with exactly the same placards shouting exactly the same stupid slogans.
Yeah, because it's a company. You can hire protesters.
And you can tell they're hired because they won't talk to anybody. Whenever a reporter tries to speak to them, they just tell them literally to fuck off. Watch that. The other night, some guy was at the Reform conference and he was interviewing people going into the conference, and he was trying to interview these stupid people that were protesting outside of it. It was funny to watch. There was this reporter guy and he was talking to all these different people, and there's this bloody great tall black dude stood waiting to be interviewed next with his Reform badges on. And all you could hear was the idiots behind him chanting, "Racist scum, get out of Brum." And he sort of looked at him and he sort of did a little thing with his face like, I'm black, boys, I'm black. Am I really racist?
Well, yeah, because racism has nothing to do with your race.
Where it's the other way around for white people. There are white racists and plenty of them, but the majority are not.
No, exactly.
Whereas black people are racist and the majority are, not all.
Now we've been
banned from YouTube. That's it. We're all banned.
No, it's stupid. Racism was brought in by governments. They promote it.
I don't know why Johnny doesn't have more subscribers. Must be just getting shadow banned.
Tried to mute Discord in time, but it was too late.
Nah.
Just kidding.
You don't think governments promote racism? Right.
Nah, not over here,
No.
at least.
Nah.
Over here, it's not a problem at all, so.
It's because you're all white.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like going to the Amish community and wondering why, we don't have any problem with Jews in the Amish community. Oh, wait, there's no Jews here, Wanko,
Yes.
what's going on over there?
I mean, what's going on over here? Not a lot. I'm heading grass.
Who's mowing the grass?
Nobody. It's finished, I think.
Who's in the next field? That's not you?
Oh, that's me, I think.
Oh, you're in the
Or
next field.
I think that's my course.
No. Oh, that's your course. Oh, okay. I thought it was Wanko. I thought Wanko was mowing the next field. I'm like, did you take another contract? The fuck? All right, you're still tedding over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you are. Our course plate is done mowing though. All right. I'll hop over and get another baler and get him started on doing some more baling.
Alrighty.
Majority of people are not racist. I'm sure there's a few people out there that are, in their basements worshiping white power or whatever they do. The hatred for the Jews I don't understand because that's biblical. That's been going on for, 3,000, 4,000 years? People have been wanting to kill Jews. I don't quite understand why.
It's a different religion. It's against the norm.
It's
So
not
it's got to
against
be
the norm.
evil. All religions are evil.
Christianity is the most popular religion in the world. And the Old Testament of Christianity is the Torah. So I don't understand this whole kill Jews thing. I'll never understand it. It doesn't make any rational sense to me.
I would have to agree with that.
I mean, if you want to worship... if you've seen what the Jews have to go through to be a Jew, that's work. That's dedication. The Christians, I think Jesus was like a hippie and just took the easy way out. He was like, the hell with this Jew thing. You gotta... There's all sorts of rules and stuff you got to abide by, and you can't just have Christmas and get it over with. You got to have Hanukkah's like a whole process. You got to do shit every night. Everything they do is hard and rules and strict traditions. I mean, I don't understand why Jesus want to break out of that. The Christianity is kind of like the opposite. Once you get to be a Protestant, you don't have to do anything. You show up to church a couple of times a year and you call yourself good. The Catholics were kind of a pain in the ass, but most of the Catholics have decided that's too much work anyway. They're like the religion of, just do it and beg for forgiveness. Jesus doesn't care. He forgives everybody.
Jesus.
Most of these other religions, you got to put in work. Allah makes you go and pray to him 5 times a day on a special rug, and you have to face the direction of Mecca. So you always got to know what direction Mecca is.
And they fast for a month during daylight hours.
Yeah.
Not that for a game of soldiers, I want my meat.
That's the best time to attack them.
Fucking stupid fucking cunt.
What's it doing now?
Yeah, attack them before dusk. They're all gonna be ready to, to be ravaging for food.
Now they're probably angry.
Yeah, but they're going to be depleted after fasting all day. Human body wasn't made for that.
Actually, it was.
By savages.
Think about it. At some points, you wouldn't have been able to catch animals, certainly during the winter. And then there wouldn't be much in the way of vegetation to chew on either.
Yeah, but it's proven that the human body is quite adaptable.
Yes, though from what I understand, they reckon fasting for sort of like 2 or 3 days is quite beneficial to most people.
Yeah, but they only fast during the day, and they still eat as soon as it gets dark.
Still late at night.
They just don't eat during the daylight.
I'm not on about them now, I'm on about people
Oh, right,
who use
okay.
fasting as part of theirs.
Keep up, people.
Why
Keep up.
everything-
Come on.
I know. They're not paying attention, are they?
No.
They're all drunk.
Well, Jamie definitely is drunk. You should look at his stream and at his lines on that field.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to bail them. Jesus.
Oh, they look alright to me.
So,
Well, to
Without-
you, yes.
I will
The
gladly
man who
switch.
lays snake trails.
I will gladly switch places with you, Mr. V, if you want to start raking the rest of this field, and I can pick up
No,
bales.
it's all right.
But then
Nah.
quit your moaning.
Uh,
Put up or
No.
shut up.
so there's a
You're asking for the impossible here, Jamie. You know that, right?
is that a yes or a no or what? I can't understand the moan. Oh, okay.
Well, Uncle, the last time I drove a tractor, there was a steer wheel on it that let the wheels go back and forth, wasn't there?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. No?
It's okay, Wonka or Gizmo. It's okay. I made room. You don't have to slow down.
It was that I walked out there. I wasn't looking, Doc. I was in.
I knew you weren't looking because you
I
just
was in the-
snowplowed me.
I was in the menu, and when I came back out, I could just see the tail end of another tractor disappearing off the bottom of the screen.
All right, so when we're playing multiplayer, Gizmo, there might be other traffic on the road. So you might want to stay out of the menus unless you pull over and use the menu while you're pulled over.
There's the fun in that.
Well, yeah, he just snowplowed me. I tried to move over, and he didn't move over at all. He just boom.
Because we didn't see you, mate. So
I know you didn't see me because you were in the menu and you're a distracted driver, so you have to take a 10-minute timeout.
it's 7 minutes out.
Yeah, you're not allowed on the roadways for 10 minutes.
That's all right. I'm going back to the field anyway now. So.
So there's a couple of Native American tribes in the southwest U.S. in the desert, and they have like the highest rate of diabetes in the world.
Really?
I mean, if they eat a cupcake, they could die, some of them. And they just can't, everything they eat, they just balloon up and gain weight at an insane rate. And most of it's because of their heritage of their tribes being out in the, the desert. They didn't have food. So their bodies adapted so that when they eat,
Yeah.
they only need to eat like once a month because their metabolisms are so slow.
Yeah.
They're like a snake. But with modern society, you got fast food on every corner and there's food everywhere. Especially in the American society, that's why we're all fat. That they just can't eat anything. And they have huge obesity and diabetes problems because they can't even keep up with society. They literally only need to eat about once every other week. But they're eating every day, like
If they ate meat, they'd be fine.
Yeah, if they only ate meat, they would be fine.
Well, they would be, because there is no carbohydrate, mate. None.
Well,
Zero carbohydrate.
There's no meat to eat in the desert either.
No.
And that's where they live, is in the
each other.
desert. I'm pretty sure they were making sagebrush salads with a little lizard and scorpion on top.
Yummy.
Nice.
And that's all white man's fault, Pete.
That's just how they adapted, you know.
Yeah, because of white men.
Yes, because of white men. And
They
all the
chased them off their
Mexicans,
traditional lands. They introduced sugar into their diet. And there
Actually,
you go.
this particular tribe, Mexico, actually took their land and kicked them off of it. But it can't be Mexicans' fault because they're people of color. Because it's not. We just call them people of color now, and then it's all okay.
Yeah. I hate to tell everyone, but white and black is not a colour. I hate to tell you that.
Are you going to tell me you've never seen an
What is
actual
it?
black person
What
because
is that,
they're not
monochrome?
actually black?
Huh? I've seen black people.
But they're not
haven't.
black. They're not black.
No, they're a browny tinge. And
Yeah,
we're not
yeah.
white either.
I know where this is going.
I had an African American girlfriend. Thank you very much.
Well, she wasn't African American unless she was an American.
She was. They were over here on holidays
They were.
with her mum and dad.
Oh.
Tony's talking
she-
80 years ago now. Look, so
Yeah.
that's why you're confused.
And she was
He didn't know
fucking
as much
gorgeous.
Look,
She was absolutely gorgeous. God. Unfortunately, they had to go back.
Aren't you guys closer to Africa anyway?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
So why didn't you find a Kenyan girlfriend?
I would if I could have. They weren't over here that much.
Right. Australia is more the Indonesian and
Yeah,
Indian people coming over, isn't it?
Yeah, we got a lot of Indians over here. They own nearly every business in the country now.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here for the Chinese.
So, well, it's same here with the Indian. The Indians own a lot of hotels, gas stations, quickie marts, a lot of
Yeah.
small retail stores. They own a lot of fast food chains, McDonald's, Subway, Arby's, you name it.
I hate to interrupt, but I've got a question. Somebody has stacked a shit ton of bales down the bottom end of the map.
that's me.
Ah.
Because it.
Yeah, with all these bales.
Because in November, it was a contract one code, but in November they're worth 100 quid. At the moment they're worth 26.
I see.
I hate to break it to you, but you're not going to see 100 quid in November because we're not gone through a game year cycle. See
We're
what
not going
happens.
through what?
We haven't gone through a game
Yeah,
year cycle.
I was gonna say because we haven't done the whole full.
right. Oh, so it won't go up that much.
No, it thinks it
No.
will because it's looking at to last year's prices, and because we haven't gone through last year, it's going off fictitious
Oh, I didn't
historical.
realise that.
Because we would have started on easy mode and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and the other thing is we got some some maps I'm playing on are 2 days, other maps are 3 days.
That don't matter.
No, it's just that I thought it was gonna be today because November. I didn't realise it was the third day in the month. Because I
Well,
probably
we
would've-
started on the first day. We already busted through a day
3
by
days
accident.
seasons,
Yeah, it don't matter. Well, I thought down there, yeah, the
Well,
way.
it still will be a higher price
No one- no
probably
one's
in
got these.
November. It's just going to be not as
Anything
high as
else?
it says.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's still, yeah.
It's still going to be better than in the drop.
There's so many of them, scrumps, that I thought, well, if they double in value, It's a
Well,
big,
even if it's a 20% increase, it's still good.
yeah.
I mean, I saved my corn for the same reason.
Plus, I was busy.
Because
I
corn
was,
is going to be, the max value for corn is going to be in January. And I
Yeah.
know it's not going to be as high as it says, but
yeah.
it's still going to be higher than now.
But I had a field. I finished the contract, and I had all these. I took the bales off the field because I needed the money. And then one of my fields was ready to harvest, so I went and done that instead. I was running the bales in. It's all good. It looks like the combine is finished. Yeah. It's finished doing this. Oh, where is he? Over there.
The pickup on this baler is what? 6 inches wide?
Pick up on which one? No, it seems
Well,
to
if
be
you
doing
want
the
the,
well,
I still have the
no.
Madagascar baler up at the shop. I didn't send the lease back yet. You can go pick it up.
Yeah, you can pick that up your butt.
Oh, Wonko and I are making out like bandits with those Madagascars. I think they're Mascars.
Mascars, that's it.
Mascars.
Yeah, you got to be a masochist to use one.
We got 2 of them. It works great. We don't even have to rake. It's got a 2-meter pickup on it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to play the game, but I don't want to do anything.
Uh-huh.
You got to put in work. You got to have dedication.
Uh-huh. It's
Wonko,
overrated.
Yeah.
notice our money situation.
Yes, it's not looking good.
No, it's not. We got £1 for every age that you are.
Dare I ask how much loan you have?
Maxed.
And what's max?
No, you dare not ask.
What's max?
I don't know what max. I don't know what maxed is, but I tried to get more, and we don't have no more.
I'm still out with 20,000 loan. I want to get rid of it.
Well, we're doing contracts to go debt free, and then once we're debt free, that we will be still poor, but we'll have lots of furry udders to go and milk.
This doesn't sound good.
What? You don't want to milk
Very
furry udders?
udders.
I'm going to take said milk and sell it.
Well, we're gonna milk our udders, and then we're gonna have lots of milk to sell, and then we're gonna make profit from there on out. Because about the time we run out of feed, it'll be time to mow. I've done the long game on this, Wonko. I got it figured out.
What?
All the money we get from these contracts will pay off all our debt, and then we'll buy cows.
It's my normal game plan.
Yes.
Oh, by cows is definitely one of those game plan.
Well, the agriculture university out here, their solution to any financial problem is always add more cows. If you're in debt and you can't make your payments, you need to take on more debt and have more.
Of course,
As long as
more
you-
debt is always the solution.
More cows is the solution. How
Oh,
you get more?
sorry.
How you get more cows? That's up to you. But you always need more cows. That's the solution. More cows, more money.
You do know it's daylight by now, Jamie?
No, they're still on. Okay.
I really like this little tractor that I've never been able to use.
Just the extra bit of visibility there.
No, headlights on for safety.
That's for safety.
Yes, yes. I will attest that it's surprisingly, important to have your headlights on, even in a bright sunny day.
On the road, definitely. Yep.
And you should have your warning lights on in the field so that people can see that you're still in the field. No,
Warning
I'll
lights
pull out
weren't
in front of
invented.
people the middle of the afternoon on a sunny day because I didn't see them because they didn't have their headlights on. It's the cheap car manufacturers don't have automatic lights or any daytime running lights. What irritates me is how many people drive around in rain or snow with no headlights on.
And no headlights here. There's a load of them around, but
I thought we were past this.
nah.
Like, we can't turn the headlights on when we turn the windshield wiper switch on.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why it's not automatic.
That's what I can't understand.
If you
why
start a
it's not
car, if you
automatic.
start an engine, the light should go on as well.
Well,
I mean-
over here we got running lights for the day, but it's only at the front. You get no lights on the rear.
Over here, it's mandatory to have its front and back.
But when you hit the headlights, it does them all. And it's law over here that if you're on a motorway and it's raining, you've got to have your headlights on.
Yeah,
Well, it is
over here too.
But I bet you most people wouldn't know that.
Now, I understand, but I just do not understand why car manufacturers don't make it that way that when you start a car, day running lights, front and back, are always on.
Well, they do.
I can't turn my day running lights off.
Me neither, but some cars can.
But
Yeah.
but I don't get lights on the back. Because what you get over here a lot, Scrump, is it starts getting dark, and people are driving around with no lights on because they can see with their day running lights, and they don't realise they haven't turned their headlights on.
Yeah.
Well, over here it's all automatic lighting, or at least the newer cars, and they switch on very quickly, I have to say.
Right.
Yeah, but the problem
It's the
I
same
have is
over
that,
here.
like you said, like most countries, it's a law. It's a law here where if you have windshield wipers on, you need to have headlights on. So why aren't the car manufacturers making it automatic to do that like they do with when the headlights automatically turn on most cars you see on the road? Very few have manual headlights.
It's all the same laws over here. The car I've got is a 1994 car, and the lights on that are automatic. You don't have to touch the light switch. It's got a light sensor on it, and it turns them on day or night automatically if it's required because of the amount of sunlight.
Is that a Japanese car, John?
No, made in Australia.
Made in Australia.
Was it
So
a
what would that be then?
Well, it's a Holden.
Holden, okay. That's Vauxhall, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes,
you would call them Vauxhalls.
Yeah.
Why do you have a car?
Eh?
Why don't you sell the car?
It's not worth it.
He's waiting till
Not
it's
worth
worth
it.
more.
It's just not worth it at the moment.
Wait until it's a classic.
Well, it's already a classic because Holden have gone belly up. They don't make them anymore.
I think there was a reason for that.
Yeah, because the government and the stupid corporation.
You're gonna get us all banned on YouTube.
Hey,
You keep bringing up the government. There's no problem with the government.
it was.
Everybody loves the government.
No, they don't. Not over here. Everyone hates the government over here.
Well, if everybody hates the government, then why aren't you guys in a revolution?
We'll probably want to be one of the first countries that do.
Ah, you got no guns. That's why.
Don't need guns for a revolution.
How are you gonna have a revolution without a gun?
Say
go buy a gun.
revolution.
Back to the good
What are you
old
gonna
days
do?
with
I'm
bow and
gonna,
arrow.
I'm gonna stand out here with my slingshot, take out politicians, give them a black eye.
A proper
Yeah.
slingshot is just as deadly as a gun.
Gun, yeah, I would've
Yep.
thought.
Yeah, you are correct on that one. I've seen slingshots in the outdoor stores there, and people hunt with the things, which I don't understand. When is slingshot season? Because it's not on any of the regulations. You got you got fish, you got fishing with a bow and arrow. They have rifle fishing. I've never heard of rifle fishing before, but apparently you can fish with a rifle.
What, and there's a law about when you can't fish with a rifle.
You can only fish certain species with a bow and you can only bow fish and rifle fish certain species of fish.
Oh, okay.
You can't take you can't just shoot your arrow or your gun into the water and catch fish like that. There's only certain fish you can take like that.
Right.
Which
Oh,
I don't
I've been-
understand.
I've been fishing with a shotgun.
And how do they know, Duck?
What do you mean, how do they know?
How do they know that the whatever it is you caught with a bow and arrow?
'Cause
Oh,
I've got
the-
a bow hole in it.
Or do they check them all before you leave the venue or whatever?
No, they don't go around. I mean, they don't
Right,
go around and inspect.
So a lot of the
your-
time they're not going to know anyway.
Oh, well,
It's a chance you take.
it's so their DEC, Department of Environmental Conservation. The Department of Environmental Conservation is basically like a state police officer, except none of the constitutional amendments apply to them.
Right.
They can do whatever they want to do. They they can search you because they want to search you, no matter who you are. They can enter your property, they can enter your house, they can do anything they want to do.
So they sound a bit like the VAT over here, which is a tax thing.
Well,
they have more powers than the police.
yes, they have more power than any other officer of the law when it comes to searching for illegally harvested game.
Yeah.
Which I kind of understand, but I'm also opposed to it because at the same time you can violate our rights as citizens because you allege that we may have taken game illegally.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with, but I also a lot of the reasoning that they say that it's like that is because you can easily discard the evidence.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand that you need to be very careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they can do whatever they want. And the funny thing is that every DEC officer I've come into contact with has been really awesome. They're not out to get you usually,
Right.
so you really shouldn't ever fear them in any way, because everyone I've come into contact with was very helpful. And like if you're going, I always run into them while I'm fishing because I don't do any hunting.
Right.
But they'd be like, oh well, if you got this bait, it usually works better in this area, and then they'd tell you how to
Helpful, give you tips and stuff.
it'd educate you on the waters. And then like we've got the giant hogweed around here, so they would, hey, just this is what it looks like, don't touch it, just very helpful guys. They're not out, and even if you didn't have a fishing license,
Yep.
you got your phone on you and a credit card, like they'll help you just get a fishing license right on the spot.
Right.
They're not out to get you, they're just out there to protect they're just protecting everybody from the poachers.
Yeah.
I don't know if this double wagon thing is not really working to pick up bales here, Wonko.
Why is that?
I find that the trailers are too heavy for the tractors.
No, I haven't had any trouble. It's one wagon keeps stealing from the other wagon, so I think I'm gonna drop a wagon.
Oh, as you're loading. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you turn, isn't it, Doc?
Yeah, when you
Does
turn,
it? Yeah, when you turn,
line
it does
up.
it. Yeah, I've had that problem with them.
I think I'm just gonna drop a wagon, and I'm gonna drop them all at the edge of the field. That's what I did last time, because I was trying to get the bales off.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just gonna go and stack the bales, and then I don't know, maybe Wonko gets done tedding, he can
Pick it up and
run the sell point.
I'm going to try with manual gears and see what happens.
What's this?
I'm going to try my tractor with manual gearbox and see if it helps with the
traction.
with the traction, the load.
Oh, where you can kick it down.
I just think them trailers are excessively heavy.
Yeah.
They probably are.
For the size of them.
But I think the other thing is too,
the tractors.
but when it's manual gearbox, it stays like I'm staying in third gear low and going up, and I'm gaining my RPMs up. But I find whenever I'm in automatic gearbox, it's trying to shift from third to fourth, fourth to third, third to fourth, and it's like when it shifts, it kind of loses its momentum.
Well,
Yeah,
it has to, yeah.
Mine. The problem I was having wasn't momentum; it was traction. What was happening was the wheels were just spinning on the back. It wasn't getting enough grip to pull the weight up the hill.
Your tractor and trailer's coming in at 30 tons there,
Oh yeah.
which is probably way more than that tractor can handle.
A little bounce there.
It can handle it.
Wonko, are you just riding around in that baler?
No, I'm supervising.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me see.
Hey, there's a reason he's called the parish councillor.
Well, because I was looking over and I thought he was doing the baling, but it's way too straight.
We can't currently afford another tractor anyway.
Where's your tedding
Can't
tractor?
currently afford the tractors you have, from what I hear.
They got repossessed.
What do you mean it got repossessed?
We didn't have any money.
We didn't need any money. If you got the wagon.
The nice man, and his colleague, the Man Mountain, said I had to give it back.
Look, if
Oh, man, he's
you
totally
just
the
kept
same.
it,
Oh,
we just kept it, and we got these bales taken over to wherever the wood sell point is.
But he had very persuasive arguments.
that was almost as
Why?
classic a quote there as it was
Because
with Doc earlier with the convoy coming.
you've had too much to drink and you can't drive anymore, and all you can do is watch.
I don't drink on Mikado.
Oh, Jamie, I feel your pain. At least Johnny lies about it. Blanco doesn't even
Talking
try
about a
to.
drink, I'll be right back and grab me a whiskey.
You could take it off hired workers.
I am. I got to take it in for repairs now.
Yeah, it probably needs that. I like this little John Deere. Looks good. Works good.
Cheers on a monkey shoulder.
This was the precursor to the 2940. This looks like it's actually just a little 2020. I don't know why it's called the 710. Because over here it looks like it would have been a 2020 or a 1020. I can't tell. It might have been a 2510.
It looks like you got a lot more traction there, Jamie, with that double wheels on.
Yeah, but I just made a wrong turn field. I'm trying to go to Goody's. I'm trying to go sleep in the back lane, and I came out the wrong field exit, so now I got to go uphill again.
Hey!
Yours are still going uphill. Mine didn't want to go uphill.
And I think,
without the back tires.
yeah, that's the manual gearboxes that you can kind of control your slip, I think. Just like kind of in real.
Yeah.
I usually find the automatic to be more responsive in real life than the
In
manual.
I don't know if the old school and you could shift down into low, as long as you didn't miss a shift, you're okay.
I don't know.
We have an old Massey Ferguson 135 at work, and that still has a low and a high gear, and you can go from high to low, but you'll have to go quickly if you want to do that driving.
You don't have to stop, because the early high lows you had to stop.
You have to be almost at the stop, but not fully.
Oh, okay.
You're just sliding it between it while it's still moving, matching the gears. It's
Yeah, matching the gears, yeah. It will tell you when you're doing it wrong.
well, yeah, because none of the truck transmissions over here are synchronized. You gotta match the speeds when you shift them.
We call it, if you miss shift, we call it brushing the teeth.
Yeah. Yep.
Grinding the gears.
Grinding the gears. That's what he said, yeah. That's how I know I get tired. When I start getting tired, I start grinding gears.
Yes, yeah.
We always said it just needed a teeth brush here. No worries. Don't worry about it.
Well, I don't use the clutch either, so you gotta have it dead on.
Nothing beats an 18-speed, non-synchronised Road Ranger.
That's what I run every day. All of our trucks, that's what's in them, except for two that have 13s. Just basically the same transmission.
Never had one of those.
The only difference between 13 and 18 is you can't split the low gears.
Is that because you don't need to, Doc?
Well,
Because you got that many more gears.
18 speed is heavy haul. 13 speed is for mountains.
For
Because-
mountains.
Yeah, it's mountain transmission.
So
So
less gears, more hills.
Well, because when you're running mountain roads on the interstates, you don't typically get into the lower range.
Right.
So you only need to split the gears in the higher range because you're running a lot of interstate.
Right.
When you're doing what we do,
Yeah.
when you run a lot of, when you're usually staying under 30 mile an hour on a lot of these roads, then you need to be able to split the low range.
Yeah.
Because our hills are actually steeper than the Rocky Mountains because the Rocky Mountains are bigger. Theirs are steep. Theirs are taller and longer, but ours are shorter.
But yours
and
are
deeper.
shorter and deeper. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't get 10 or 12% grade out there because it's,
Right. Yeah.
you know, you're going to go 4 to 6%. You're going to go that for 5 to 6, 8 miles.
Yeah.
Where we're going to have 10, 12% for half a mile, quarter mile,
Yeah.
more or less. "13 speed's the way to have it anyway if you're going to run interstates. A little lighter, you're missing a shaft. That saves you 15, 20 pounds.
Yeah.
A little lighter of a transmission because you only need to split the low gears if you're hauling something super heavy. Or you're involved in the hill country.
You still busy?
Oh yeah. Finished up half a corn, now we gotta wait until the rest is ready.
Right.
I just want to stay on manure, it's way easier.
But it's way easier to transport than slurry.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Because it doesn't roll around.
nice, stay on the road, and I broke more stuff in 2 weeks of hauling corn silage than I have in a whole year of running manure.
Right.
All it does is destroy my truck.
Yeah. Oh, because you're on off fields all the time.
Yeah, because you can't go in the field.
Opposed to in the yard.
Yeah, because most of the time when you're hauling manure, you're on the road. You might turn around in the field or go down a laneway or something, but you're not.
Yeah, but you're not actually on the field.
Yeah.
You're not abusing the trucks like you do with corn.
Yeah, you know, it started raining, you get stuck, you get pulled around. I don't like any of that.
Over here, they never use trucks in the fields. But of course, we have a lot smaller fields, but it would be a disaster if you use a truck in the field already. It's all tractors.
Yeah, you
They
guys do a lot of.
overload into trucks,
Yeah.
but the truck wouldn't get on the field. Over here, it's even mandatory for if you're a beet or a potato harvester and you make your bunkers on the fields, if you want to get the factories to pick them up with trucks, it's mandatory that the potatoes or the beet are close to a road so the truck can stay on the road. It's not allowed to have it in the middle of a field or whatsoever.
Yeah,
If it's in the middle of a field, the
it's
truck
pretty
driver
similar
say,
over here.
go away, you're not doing that.
A lot of the people that grow sugar beets and that, they've all got like clamps that they put them in concrete beside the road.
Over here, it's all just on the field, like you've seen it, like the photo I put up from that Ropa Mouse 5. You see those Ropas over here quite a lot. That's just that a beet loader, and they just tip the beets on the field they're working, or they collect them from multiple feeds on one field, and they use a beet loader like the Ropa to get them in the trucks.
You guys do it the hard way.
Well, you can't drive a truck in the field over here. You'll be stuck really quickly.
No, you need the safety pole. Because all the potato guys and stuff, they put the safety poles on. They just hook the big old tractor right to the truck and drag it through the field.
And I'm not sure if the truck drivers will like that over here.
Yeah, they'll get used to it.
Well, we got smaller field stock, so the amount of potatoes coming off the field over here is going to be different compared to over there.
Well, I don't know
Just
why you
getting-
guys don't... You know, like the beet cart, like the Amity beet cart? It's in the game. I mean, you just use those and the trucks can stay on the road because you can offload from the field onto the road.
That's but they put it in bunkers first over here. Factories don't take it all at the same time. That's the biggest problem.
Well, yeah, out here they put them in the beet dumps. They call them the beet dumps. But they just pile them. I mean, they just make massive piles. You know, they put a big old slab somewhere, and they make massive piles of them, and then all winter long, they send trucks and they just keep bringing them from the beet dump up to the plant every day.
Yeah, that's what they do over here, but they just do it on the fields itself, not on a certain slab.
See, they do it over on they make a big old beet dump over here so that they don't have to take up any of the room of the field. They usually put it in a place that's undesirable to work. Poor soil, or, you know, it's a small land mass based on it's locked by canals or houses or something. You know, something that wouldn't be desirable to work as a arable farm.
Yeah.
That way you're not tying up your good field land to store stuff on.
Over here, they're but it's only storage in the wintertime, and they're not doing anything in the wintertime with the field anyway.
Yeah, compaction.
Yes, of course, yeah, but apart from that,
You know, potato guys, they all have to run them into climate-controlled storage anyway.
yeah, same here, yeah.
The beets don't
They
seem
will
to
put
care.
them on the field here first, potatoes, but only a certain amount that they know the fabrics will take. The factories.
Oh, we can't.
And,
leave
so
any
the
potatoes
factories
out here.
say we will take 100 tons till November. Then they will put like 100 tons just on the land and load it from there, and all leftovers will be put in sheds, controlled sheds.
Yeah, there's a potato hauler that always comes out of Canada, and that's all they do all year round. Come down here and pick up chip potatoes, because that's all we grow here is for potato chips. We don't grow them for anything else. They're big, ugly things that are a very specific size, and they're specific hardiness, and they have a specific sugar content because they're only for potato chips.
They do a lot of starch. I think starch is the word.
Yeah.
Potatoes over here.
Yeah, yours are more for mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Mash. Because in
Mashed
Idaho.
or also a lot for fries.
Yeah, because that's what they do in Idaho. Because in Idaho, they take all the potatoes and then they sort them. So all the small and undesirables go into your processed potatoes, like your instant potatoes.
Yes.
And then all your really good-looking ones get bagged up for fresh potatoes. And then the other ones that are good-sized but not pretty, and usually look like a sack of testiculars, they all go into French fry potatoes.
Arrivederci.
You gotta
You
go to
going,
the
are you
grills,
coming?
Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're on the time. We all know it.
Yeah.
Oh, good, Johnny. You have a wonderful day.
Catch you in the
See you
week,
later.
mate.
So see you
Take care.
after.
Catch us all later. Have a great night.
You too.
Alright,
See
you,
yous.
mate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya. Bye, Johnny.
Part-time. I tell you what, Jamie, you should really look at getting a full-time employee.
Yeah, see what Gizmo's doing. See if he wants a job.
Yeah. But
Shows up late,
but
leaves
it's a-
early.
But I'm also employing for his witty repartee.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you're entertained with your slack ass help.
Witty repartee. Are we talking
Yeah.
about the same Johnny?
Yeah, I think you're talking about someone else here.
There's quite a bit of build on that field there, Jim.
Yeah, there is. I'm thinking
What
myself
are you biting me for? Don't bite me. No bite.
if I decide if
No
I
biting.
want to switch over the farm all to haul them. And
Nice. Be nice. Yeah. Nice. Nice is not with teeth. I tell a girlfriend that my
Anyone watching these Farm Sim 25 videos?
No.
The last
the
one
one
I
on the-
watched was from the new Asian map.
No, did you see the one on the GPS?
No.
Mm-mm.
Quite interesting. It's got like it does a light bulb type maneuver when it gets to the headland, and it does this really natty little reverse when
What?
it's turning to do the next corner, and it does the corners square. It doesn't round them off.
Is that GPS or the hired worker?
No, GPS. And the hard worker probably works the same.
Probably works the same.
But
Wait, so what is GPS? What?
it's
That
built
is
in.
it? Is it hired? It's hired worker.
Well, it is a hard worker, but it's a different. You can still press the hard worker.
So GPS
but if
is
you,
gonna
if you,
be.
but if you don't want it to be, it's like cosplay, right? So you've got the lines on the field, and you can press a button and the what's his name. But if you want to use it as GPS, you press Control H or something when you get onto the field, and it allows you to manually steer
You
and
can.
turn around. It just gives you the lines.
So
But
they
the lines are there, Doc, without even touching anything. So the minute you roll into the field, because you've selected to use it, the minute you roll into the field, it's already worked the courses out and brought up the course. Look pretty good.
I think they're going to change that because I don't know. We'll see when it comes out, but that would be quite annoying. With GPS, I don't have any lines on GPS turned on because I don't like looking at any lines on the ground.
Well, I don't know whether you can turn them off. I didn't notice that.
Well, if it,
you might be able to, but it was in German.
well, of course.
So I had to keep watching
Du musst
the.
erstmal ein bisschen Deutsch reden, ne?
Yep, it was Scrum. And
I am
because it was at some exposition, some farm con or something.
I am extremely disappointed in the pea harvester we got.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
was it too small or something?
No, I was hoping it was gonna be the 6156, which is the Oxbow pea harvester that's made here in New York, but it's not.
Oh, okay, right.
But then I found out that the pea harvester that's in 25 is the harvester that Oxbow is going to be selling from now on, and they
It's
have
their new model. Yeah,
they have discontinued the 6156 that's made here
yeah. Right.
because they don't want people to be able to pick peas at the capacity that those machines are. Apparently,
What? Because they're big.
they have higher capacity. They have
Yeah.
they have larger tanks, and they can go faster. Because I don't know if you guys know anything about green peas, but the harvesters go about 2 miles an hour, and then that's really going fast.
Right.
And I'm thinking, we'll see what FarmSim does, but if those machines are going 6 miles an hour, that needs to be changed because they don't. 3 miles an hour would be really low yielding peas.
Right. And that's the
Is
same
is
with
there
the old
double
model, is
lines?
it?
Go ahead, Jim. Gizmo.
There you go. Go on.
I was just wondering, do you have double lines on that one plot there, Jamie? Because it seems not to pick up at all.
No, some places in the middle, I overlapped and pulled in type thing. I kept my harvester or my windrower trying to go in all the same way. So I wasn't pulling
alright.
2 lines together, but just sometimes I wandered back and forth and picked up a little extra.
That's why.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering why some pieces it did pick everything up and then not.
You'll see it where it kind of triangles into the shape back and forth is where it's at.
Yeah. Back to green peas, 2 kilometers an hour.
No, probably like 4 to 5 kph. Same with beans, which the bean harvester I've never seen before because that's not what we use here.
We do.
Well, because those machines are not Oxbows, they're Plugers.
And the parsley harvester is something you would see over here as well.
We have parsley in FarmSim? Or are you just saying in general?
I think we get parsley.
I mean,
or was it spinach?
I thought it was spinach.
It's
Yeah,
spinach.
but parsley is a similar crop.
I was just gonna say because it would use the same harvester as spinach.
Yeah, I think I did send a video somewhere in Discord about one of those harvesters driving around here.
Yeah,
But
because
that was for parsley.
Yeah, because here we don't do any spinach. And the cabbage we do is all picked by migrants because it's hand-picked.
What's hand picked up? Sorry, mate, I missed that.
Cabbage. We do a lot of red and green cabbage here. Yeah, we're one of the highest producing places of red and green cabbage in the country.
Right.
There's a few guys that were trying to grow mint, but that didn't work out either.
Right.
Mint, we're growing mint over here, but just normal, the flower you mean, the plant.
Yeah, like spearmint, peppermint. Get the oils for,
Yeah,
flavoring.
We grow that over here for in your tea, etc. Yeah.
Yep. So they do out west. the Northwest U.S., they do a lot of mint for the oil extract, which goes into like your spearmint, peppermint.
Yeah,
Goes into your
I don't think we do the oil extracts. We only use the plant itself to put back in tea and stuff.
Okay, so you guys probably use that spinach harvester then.
Most likely, yes.
Yeah. So over there, what they do is they use like that new McDon that's going to be in the game. They use the swather, and then they go through and they chop it with a forage harvester, and then they chop it into what they call a mint tub. And the mint tub is a sealed trailer, and they take it down to the still, and they actually steam the trailer with all the mint in it, and that's how they extract all the oil out of it, is they basically distill it inside the trailer.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it works really well. Because they're mostly after mint oil, so most of your mint flavoring for candy and gum and tea and anything you put mint in, candles, all of that stuff, the majority of it is just from the extract oil.
It's funny, the farmall, the big farmall wouldn't pull this trailer up the hill, but this one, little Massey did.
That's strange. Because the farm all had more horsepower, right?
Yep.
But the Massey is a 4-wheel drive.
Yep.
The farmer's not. I think that's the point, possibly.
Could be.
More traction on the Massey.
No, Marco will tell you that Massey's got balls.
Really?
That's his favorite tractor. It takes 2 fields to turn it over, but you know.
Give me 40 acres.
Oh yeah, you got to have about 14, 18 headlands before you can turn it around.
You're just being silly now.
Gizmo's talking about the light bulb, you know, the GPS. I don't know, this Giants GPS I'm very, very skeptical about. I'm very skeptical about them having a good hired worker, because Giants has never had a very good hired worker.
They say that every year. Well, every...
They always
Usually.
say it, every rendition, wow, it's a much better hired worker. Oh, what, in 19? You made the stupid thing actually detect a tree? '17, that thing used to piss me off because it'd run right into a tree, even though it wasn't even close to it. It'd find a way to back into it.
Yeah.
This
This version is way better than the previous versions.
Oh, this is the best farm sim ever. To date. Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I would agree.
pretty happy with what they have going on. I just think they should sort out multiplayer.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot better now, but definitely at the start of 22, it was a massacre. It's not working at all.
You have to remember though, Scrum, there was more people, a lot more people, playing Farm Sim 22 when it first came out than Battlefield.
Well, I understand, but if you already know you have quite a large player base of people playing, then when you bring out, I mean, look at World of Warcraft, which still has an extremely high player base. They have like 300 people in one room on one server at the same time, casting all kind of spells and all kind of shit in here, and it still works.
I don't think anybody in their wildest dreams ever anticipated the number of servers that people bought for Farm Sim 22. I don't think so, because I think probably on their estimates, when they were looking at it, they probably were looking at, you know, probably historical 19 data and what people would normally, you know, how many servers were active in 19, like a year prior to 22 coming out. And they anticipated a spike with the new game, but I don't think they anticipated what came out. Because there was like dozens of articles that came out about that. Everybody's like, what's this farming game that's like has double the number of people that Battlefield does? Like, who plays this game? Who would play a farming simulator game, you know? The guy I worked with, him and I both played Farm Sim. When this game came out, we were both talking about it, and he's like, well, I bought both of them, you know, but he's like, I gotta say, I'm playing Farm Sim way more than I'm playing Battlefield. I think Farm Sim allows you to waste more time without getting bored.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
It's low stress. You could keep doing this all day long. It doesn't matter. It's low stress.
I used to be in an America's Army gaming clan, which is a first-person shooter, and I was a pretty okay player in there. Not too bad at it. But they had a reunion yesterday, so I played 2 hours on America's Army Proving Grounds with them yesterday, and they are still playing, and I didn't play it in, I think, 2 years. Oh God, I got my ass kicked. Not used to it anymore.
I used to play a lot of Halo. That's why I got an Xbox. I played a lot of Halo. And it got to the point where I had to stop playing it because I couldn't sleep. I would wake up with these weird, like, I don't want to call it tremors or something, but it was just messing with everything. Too intense, too fast. It wasn't something.
Proving Grounds wasn't too fast for me, but yesterday it was.
Well, you're supposed to do this to relax. You know, that's why you watch TV. You watch movies.
Yeah.
You do everything to relax, and I had to give up the first-person shooters. They're too fast and too intense. They're not like the old Halo 1, Halo 2.
I used to do a lot of armour. I used to do a lot of armour missions, making all the missions for the guys.
We remember when we got indoctrinated.
It just became too stressful, too much like bloody work.
Mm-hmm.
You're right back, guys.
That's all right.
I haven't played now for probably a year.
Wow.
I can't say as I miss it.
Well, I think it's the same for me, Wonka, on America's Army, because I used to play that game every day. And I was very active in the clan as well. I mean, I was one of the admins and one of the senior leaders on that clan, so I was really active on it. We even played ESL, Online Sports League, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good fun. I really enjoyed it, but I don't miss it either.
At the driving dock.
Hey.
Well, I was clan admin and gave that up first. Then kind of went off with a smaller group of friends and we did our own thing, which was good, but yeah, just too much time was eaten up by it.
Well, we used to have Minecraft Sundays to relax from Halo. So on Sundays, we would get together and play Minecraft to basically chill out. Because otherwise, you it was constant in the bickering and the blaming and the
Oh yeah.
you know.
Well, since I started playing Farm Sim, it's definitely it's a relaxing game. You just sit back, you relax, and you play a game.
I think that's why
And
it's
in
so
the meantime,
popular.
you enjoy a chat, so it's all good.
It's all ages. You don't ever have to worry about anything being inappropriate for any age. You don't have to worry about having a skill set. You can do whatever you want. You know, a friend of mine, his kid, he would play all week. You know, after he got home at night and sent the kid to bed, he'd play all week to get money so the kid could buy stuff in the store. Because all he wanted to do was buy stuff in the store, look at it, drive it around in a circle, and sell it and buy something else. So he's like, all right, well, I'll just, you know. I remember when he first.
For that run.
Well, that's what I told him. I'm like, you might want to tell him to lease the stuff. It'd be a lot cheaper than buying it. He goes, I don't know, whatever he wants to do, I don't really care. I'm like, dude, you spend 2-3 hours every night trying to figure out how to make money on this game, doing missions and everything else. Because they're playing on Nintendo Switch at the time.
Ooh, I can't imagine that's quite as relaxing.
I can't remember what rendition it was. 19 maybe? 7? I think it was. I think the Switch edition they got was 17. I can't remember, but yeah, I remember when he first picked it up, and he's like, how do I make money on this? And I'm like, well, what do you got it on? Well, the kid's Nintendo Switch. And they bought the Switch because when he's in the car going between the parents' house, he could take it anywhere with him and still play,
They play, in the back of the car.
Because you can still play on the controller, which is really bizarre to me. Because I never understood why you needed to be able to play the game on the controller unless you were trying to take it to the bathroom with you.
Right, I've got to go.
You gotta go
Yes.
to the bathroom?
No, to bed.
No! No! You're sober, you can stay up.
No, I'm leaving you in charge.
Fuck yeah.
You're in charge.
Oh God. Do not spend the money.
Hey, how much less money do we have now than we had last week when I was in charge?
£329 in the bank, mate.
Mm-hmm. What did we start with?
I don't know.
We had 7,000 something when I started. Then you logged on, spent all our money.
Right.
You
Well,
have a wonderful week, Wonka.
And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys.
Hey, take care, mate.
Yeah, hopefully catch you during the week at some point so
Yeah.
we can get a bit more done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Alright, take care. See you.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, it should be on next week. Should be. I don't typically work Sundays. That one I did work was kind of an oddball thing.
Right. Over here, Doc, they seem to have, most of the farmers, they seem to put, they've been spreading muck of some description. It might be horse, pig, or might even be compost. And then they've planted like a cover crop
Yeah.
with without ploughing it or anything. Well, I guess
Yeah.
they're going to plough the whole lot in once they've once the cover crop's ready.
Yeah, that's, they no-till it in and then they just, plow it in to get the nutrients out of the green manure.
The less plow.
Yeah, but it's like because the fertilizer costs over here are out of this world. Scrum, so they all seem to be turning to different ways of fertilising.
Isn't it rules and regulations over there, Gizmo, to have rain in crop in the fields at the end of the year?
Probably
Well,
not.
if it is, it's only recent because they never used to do it, Scrum. It's only since the fertilisers got expensive.
Over here,
Well,
it's,
You
it's
never
through.
used to see them spraying a lot of manure either.
Now over here,
It was always chemical fertiliser.
over here, depending on what you have been growing.
Right.
And if you have been growing corn,
Yeah.
sunflowers,
Yep.
all wheat crops,
Right.
or sugar beet,
Yep.
you need to get a cover crop in before the end of November,
Right.
just to get
Is that-
all the nutritions that are still in the ground, or all the pneumonia and the what's it called, stickstof in Dutch, but that's not the word I'm looking for.
Potassium?
No, yeah, well, where they're making all a big problem of, because stables are spitting it out.
Fables are spitting
Nitrogen,
it out.
yeah, that's the
Nitrogen.
word, nitrogen. To collect all the bits that are still in the ground. So the cover
Right.
crop is kind of mandatory over here now.
We've been doing cover crops since I was a kid over here.
They did over here, but not everyone.
Well, not everybody would do it, but we do cover crop for erosion control. It's not
Yeah.
nutrient management, it's
'Cause
erosion control.
It's just to put something in there to keep the soil together.
Yeah,
Is that
because
the idea?
with all the hills, when you get the rain, if you
washes
don't
it all
ha-
down.
if you don't have anything to protect the soil just goes in the river.
Yeah, well,
Just
we don't
washes
have that
down.
problem, Doc.
You don't have any
It's all
hills. You
flat
don't,
over here.
yeah. But that's why we would use cover crops.
But
and
over
then-
here, it's just to get the last nutrients out of the ground so that they don't flush into the groundwater, basically.
Groundwater, yeah.
But potassium and phosphorus aren't water soluble, so the only way that they pollute is usually through soil erosion. Nitrogen is water soluble, and that's the big problem. That's the
Yeah,
pollution.
that's the point, yeah. And they want to get as much as nitrogen as they can out of the ground, and that's why they are planting cover crops that are going well on nitrogen, so they
Yeah,
they
but
get the nitrogen out of the ground.
well, usually they plant cover crops to try to put nitrogen back into the ground, because the crops
Well,
that you
it does,
the-
because
the-
the plant takes the nitrogen into itself, into its system. But it takes the nitrogen out of the ground into the plant. And then in the springtime, you get the plant in the ground again. And then you use it as a fertilizer, kinda.
Yeah, we call it green manure here, because you're plowing in the green crop and then it turns into manure. Like, it has the same effect as manure. But usually, everything except sunflowers is usually a nitrogen depleting of soil. Corn, potatoes, sugar beet, all of those deplete the soil of nitrogen. Crap.
Well, I'm going to end my stream here because I'm going to go soon.
Okay, mate.
I'll thank
All right,
the boys for playing, and well, Johnny for finally showing up and leaving early,
Rick.
and Jimmy for jumping in chat here for a little bit with me too. Anyways, I imagine we'll probably be on some evenings or through the week on Scrump server. See what happens. Might be even back on this, trying to finish this up this week, because it sounds like we're going to try and maybe jump a decade or so. Meantime, appreciate dropping in. Thanks for watching. Take care.
It is.